opposition leaders. I will not be silenced, and we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing our toys. Boys, chop up the singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
The song is not gay at all, Jay Smith. You're gay. Calm yourself. What's up, people? Should I turn this off? Hold on. Do you guys like it more when it's... Hold on. Should we go like this? Is that better? No, I don't like that. Or, yeah, we'll go with that. That's too much. All right, cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, cool. You like this song. That's great. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan Kearney. You can call me Clarence Woods Emerson on Facebook. That's my Facebook name. You can follow me there. You can call me on old school turtle riders. Call me Uncle Turtle Boy. Newer people, I prefer doctor if we're being completely honest, because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. Some people call me daddy. Definitely not required. I can understand that could be a little creepy. But if you want to, you can. I'm not going to hold it against you. I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. sharp, and we'll be just fine. And make sure you smash that subscribe button. How many subscribers are we up to now? We're like going through the roof. It's hard to keep track. I have like, let's see. We're up to 72,414 subs. We're getting close to 100, man. We get a plaque when we do that. We were just at 70 like the other day. So that's pretty cool. And Twitter, we're like through the roof. I'm on Twitter at Dr. Turtleboy, at 𝗕𝗏𝗍𝗿 Turtleboy. We're almost up to 75,000 on there. Like a huge day on Twitter. It's a huge, things are looking up for the turtle. It's looking good these days. So anyway, guys, yeah, if you're new here, smash the subscribe button. Like I said, we do this every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. I'm going to have a couple extra streams this week, right? So for all the new people here, you guys might not know this, but I've been charged with a buttload of felonies. Like I'm out on bail. Somebody actually just threatened to send me a turtle rider, believe it or not, or former turtle rider, just threatened to send me back to jail for something. I don't know. So like I'm on bail. So I'm on bail. So I don't want to go back to jail. I just did 60 days in jail and I don't feel like going back. But if they want to dance with the devil, we can dance. We'll see what happens. But either way, I feel like I need to do a little show explaining kind of like why I'm out on bail, because why I have all these felonies. Because it's like the first thing you read about me in the media when they talk about me, they say, oh, he's got 17,000 felonies. Is this like wicked blurry too? What is going on? Hopefully it corrects itself. He's got all these felonies. You know, I'm a central part of the story, but like the first thing they mention about me is all these felonies. And you're probably like, if you're new here, you're like, what's with all the felonies? And there's a perfectly logical explanation. I didn't do nothing. Like I literally did nothing. I held some peaceful protests. A lot of you people were there. I said some things that were taken out of context, you know, and yeah. So anyway, and yeah, and a lot of people I see, yeah, I see Grant's still going. Oh, please. Oh, so this thing, you know, I've thought about this. I'm trying to be the bigger person here. I don't really want to get into it that much. It's getting a little bit out of control. And I assure you that I just don't want to get into it right now. And so we'll keep it that way for now. But it's getting a little bit ridiculous. Some of the things that are being said out there. Luckily, I know that most people aren't seeing it, so that's good. But basically, I created a Facebook group in like last September called the Justice. So there was an original Facebook group. If you're new here, we had an original Facebook group. And no, I don't have a blog. Like there was no blog. I don't know where this came from. That is a complete lie. Like I wouldn't be. It's like they're asking. They're like, this has become a new victim complex thing here, where it's just like, oh, he said he was going to write a blog about me, and then. Like, what? Why would I? I'm busy as shit. I don't have time to write blogs about the Roccos. Like, you're not that important. I know they seem to think they are. I'm not doing that. Like, stop it. Okay. And like, so it was like all over. And so I made this back in September, last September, there was a Facebook group, like a split. And that's where the daddy thing comes from, actually. Right. There was like exactly, Colleen. Exactly. You know. Exactly. That's what's stopping me from even saying anything. And so there was this Facebook group called the Justice for John and Karen Facebook group. And they didn't allow, it's like people could go on there and share their stuff about Karen Reed case, whatever on there. And they didn't allow fundraising for the most part. And there's these people called the Roccos, Nick and Jenna Rocco, who fundraise a lot for Karen Reed. Okay. And, you know, I liked them. I thought they were good people. Like, and a lot of people had warned me, like, be careful with them. They're clout seekers and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't, as long as they're raising money for Karen Reed, that's the only thing that matters to me. Right. Because we're all in this together. Right. Etc. So we, and that's like, I'm just not in it for that. And so then we decided to make a second page, right? So a new page where you can raise money called the Justice for John, and, you know, the Justice for John and Karen Facebook group, 𝗕𝗏boy official, it said on it. So we're going to make our own page. You know what I mean? Because I go, the other group was like, there was people fighting, and I go, you know what? Daddy's got to come in, and I didn't want to get involved, but I go, Daddy's got to come in and lay the smackdown, and Daddy's got to come in and resolve this shit. You know, and Daddy's got to come in. He's got to fix this all. And so I said, let's start a second group. So we started a second group, and it was me and Nick Rocco basically made this new group, and it was going to have all the fundraising in the world on there. And so I made it. And then when I went to jail, they took me off as an admin, or like I was taken off as an admin, much to my chagrin. And so I'm no longer in charge of the page. It says 𝗕𝗏boy official on it. It's like I literally made this page to get away from the other page, and now it has been taken over. And I was friendly with them for a while, but now not so friendly. And now the page is gone. Like I'm no longer in charge of the page, basically. It's a long story. It's crazy. It's fucked up. And I don't want to get into it. But it's like the 𝗕𝗏boy page was taken away from me. Like it was literally taken away from me. And I can't appoint. I wanted to add some admins because I wanted transparency and oversight. Like that was my thing. I'm like, I just want some transparency and oversight because quite frankly, I didn't trust a couple of the admins on there. And I just said, let's have some transparency and oversight. And then all hell broke loose. And I took off a couple admins. And then today, like war was started. Like it was fucking crazy. I saw on 𝗵𝗵𝗍𝗄𝗏 stat today. I'm like reading the comments, like the fuck? Yeah, they're still using my name and they're demanding I leave the group now. So this happened, right? So this is what happened. So anyway, We can get to all that later. It's a whole crazy story. And yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It is. I am an admin. Like they've demanded I leave. Like that. I'll explain it all later. Like they want me out. It is a lot of pressure. I can't have any people. It's a long story. But you know, I never thought I'd get kicked out of a Turtle Boy Facebook group before by people who are quite clearly like little, you know, the fame is going to their head a little bit. It's been a wild ride, and I didn't do any of this shit. But anyway, we'll talk more about that another time. I don't know if I want to get into that right now because I want to stick to the facts today. I want to stick to the Karen Reed case. And yeah, let's just do that. All right. So anyway, before we get started, if you guys want your messages read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat. And shout out to all the Rumble Rats. How many Rumble Rats we got? We got 620 Rumble Rats right now on YouTube. Is it still blurry? Is this going to correct itself? Oh, it's better. It's better. Nice. We have 4,300 people watching on YouTube. And then on Twitter, we've probably got a bunch more. So anyway, Rumble Rats rule. Yeah. All right. So if anybody wants their message read, you click at the link at the top. That brings you to something called Turtle Chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. And when you do that, I will get a notification in my inbox and I'll read it out loud to the class. Or you can cash at me at $UncleTurtleboy. All right. Hold on. So let me read a couple Turtle Chats to start. First up, actually, this is from yesterday. Terry sends $25 and says May 26th, Police Chief 𝗵𝗵𝗀𝗺𝗺 plans to retire. Yep, that happened a while ago. Thank you very much. Brutally Honest sends $5 and says, hey, Turtle Mac Daddy, the whole situation seemed desperate when Auntie Bev and his lawyer had to step in. It looked like both were saving Brian's privates. Correct. Yes, thank you very much, Brutally Honest. Yvonne sends $10, says, who do you think the person was who hit him, one or two people? You know, I don't like to do that whole thing. I know a lot of people like to do the let's hear your theory about what happened inside the house. I've always been of the belief that I just don't care. Like, it's like, all I know is someone in the house did it. And I just don't, it doesn't matter. Like, someone did it, so they're all guilty. Like, every person in that house is guilty, up to Sarah Levinson and Julie Nagel. They all know, they're all accessories to a murder. It doesn't matter who delivered the fatal blow to me. One of them did it, but I don't know who did it. Okay, that's it. Anyway, and that's my big thing, Deb. And that's the part that really offended me today, right? Is that one of them was like befriending 𝗺𝗵𝗄𝗺 panties. Like, that happened last night. Like, it was fucking crazy. I'm like, what world are we living in? It's like, why is that the thing? Like, how much of a low life for you to run to 𝗺𝗵𝗄𝗺 panties for like support and camaraderie? Like, it's fucking, especially openly on Twitter. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, they're all complicit. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who did it. They should all go to jail. But I got bad news for you guys. Like, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think anyone's ever going to jail for this, including Karen Reed. And I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I don't think that anyone's going to jail. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think they're going to get away with murder. I'm saying that right now. Karen Reed didn't do it. And they're already calling her Casey Anthony because they know she's not going to jail. You know, they know that she's not going to jail. But I think the feds ain't doing shit. I'm telling you right now, I don't think they're doing shit. I think it's going to be, it's going to be it's not even a cold case, because a cold case is like, you have no fucking clue who did it. We know who did it. They did it. Jen McCabe did it. You know? Oh no, I love 𝗵𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗂𝗆, to be very clear. Absolutely not. I love 𝗵𝗄𝗆 𝗵𝗂𝗆. But anyway, I think they all did it. And so I feel like if they were going to arrest somebody, they would have done it by now. And I do have sources who have told me that they want to arrest. They know, the feds know they know who did it, but they don't have enough to convict anyone. And they don't do a case unless they can get a conviction. because, bro, the house has been cleaned. Like it's done. Like the chance they could have got them so easily. Like the next day, if they had just gone in the house, luminoled the shit out of that, separated the witnesses, said, you're going to freaking jail the rest of your life. You don't start talking, motherfucker. You know how quickly they talk? But none of that happened. Literally nobody was like, that's how they got away with murder. And the worst one of them all is Michael Proctor, because it's his fault. Everything's his fault. And it's Yuri Bukaki's fault because he's Michael Proctor's boss. And it's Brian Tully's fault. And it's John Fanning's fault. And it's the colonel's fault. It's all these people who never held Michael Proctor responsible for his crimes, for what he did. They had a chance to get justice for John O'Keefe. Day one, it would have been really easy. The Canton police are just, I don't think they're that corrupt necessarily. They're just towny pieces of shit that could never even think about going after one of their boys. That's all that was. Like Michael Lang's like, I'm not going to look around. Fuck it. Brian, you're a good guy. Stay right here. You know, didn't even suspect that like he had been killed inside that house. Didn't even suspect it. So, I mean, they're just lying, white trash garbage, and they're going to get away with murder. I'm telling you, like, I have changed my mind for a long time. I'm like, they're not going to let them get away with murder. It's not that they're letting them get away with murder. It's that it's too late. I think it's just too late. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think they're going to get him. I could be pleasantly surprised. But why don't we do a poll on that right now, actually? Why don't we start off with a poll? All right. So let's start a poll. Will anyone ever go to jail? Anyone not named Karen Reed ever go to jail for killing John O'Keefe? I want to hear your opinions. All right. Go vote in that poll now. What do you guys think? Will anyone? All right. So what are we up to now? We are up to 300 people voted in 2 seconds, and we're up to 64% saying no. 66% say no after we're almost at 1,000 votes, dude. This is wild. Yeah, looks like no. I mean, 36% are saying no. So we'll see. I mean, for the longest time, I said yes, but that's not to say, like, I know it doesn't change the fact that Karen Reed is 1,000% innocent. 1,000% innocent. And I said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it a million times. And I don't apologize to the people in my inbox who always say, oh, Turtle Boy, can you stop saying the word retarded? I can't do it. It's no offense to people who are retarded. It's nothing like that. Okay. I can't stop saying it and stuff like this because there's no other word to describe it. If you think Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe, you're just plain old-fashioned retarded. That's it. I can't say nice things about you. I can't be like, well, let's debate this. No, you're retarded. That's it. Okay? You are ignoring everything. All these facts, it's just so obvious. A child can see Karen Reed didn't do that. You're retarded, period. Okay? And I'm going to get an inbox tomorrow. Oh, Turtle Boy, I love you, but my cousin is special needs. But I'm not talking about your cousin. I'm talking about the people who think Karen Reed did this. They're retarded. That's it. They're done. Okay? So, yeah, I think they're going to get away with murder. I really do. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And it looks like the majority, 67% of people agree with me. I think it's too late. I think they're going to get away with murder. And that sucks that they're going to. But you know what? They're always going to be cop killers. And we all know it. For the rest of their life, this is going to come up on Google. You can't change the front page of the Herald, man, of Colin Albert's knuckles, of Jen McCabe's faces. Everybody knows what these people did to John O'Keefe. They know that he walked into the house behind me at around 12:20 on January 29th, 2022. And they know that he was found 5 hours later over here on the front lawn by Karen Reed. Okay. And we know that she didn't hit him because you're going to hear 3 dudes with PhDs who are crash reconstruction experts, are going to tell you that she didn't hit him. It's impossible. It makes no sense. So there's that. Okay. All right. So anyway, so that's that turtle chat. I don't know how I ranted on that. All right. Next one. Lena sends $5 and says, Lally is clearly the McAlbert's bitch. Every time Brian, Nicole, Matt, Jen, Allie, and Colin get asked a question, they don't want to answer. They look at Lally first, and then he objects. So obvious he's been told to do as he's told by the corrupt motherfuckers, and the jury see this. Free Karen Reed. Hashtag stop the butt dials. Agree. Thank you very much. He is the McAlbert's bitch. He is just, he's more boring in person, believe it or not. And he met his match today with that doctor. That was a Lally off, if I've ever seen one. That was Lally meets Lally. Lally, Dr. Lally. We should have called that guy. All right. Samantha sends $5 and says, Daddy, Jen McCabe's Apple heart rate data and Google searches are criminal. That's the one thing, right? Is her, the Google search. I'm like, how is that not enough? The Google search in and of itself was enough to get Brian Walsh. But I guess they got a little more on him. They got him like on tape, buying cleaning supplies. I think they found some blood in his house, etc. But like you would think the Google search is what makes you know that these people are killers for the rest of it. And they ain't going to be witnesses forever. I don't even know, are they witnesses anymore? Can you protest them when this is all said and done without it being witness intimidation? I don't know. It's not that I'm losing hope. It's just that I'm just not holding my breath. You know, I'm not holding my breath. The evidence is gone. Deanna sends $25 and says, cheers to Jen O'Donnell, Sean Colburn, and Rita Lombardi tonight. So proud to, I heard they lit it on fire at the Canton Town Select Board meeting tonight. I heard it was like epic. I got to go watch it. Check out the Young Jerks. You should be subscribing to their channel anyway. They have great content on there. Mike has great content on there. He's got this new lawyer, Mark Betterow, great perspective. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's a great follow on Twitter as well. One of these new names that's emerged during this whole Karen Reed thing for good content. So go check him out. Yeah. All right. So next, so thank you for that one. And it says, shame on the Commonwealth for their actions. Team Reed and Team Turtleboy. Thank you very much, Deanna. Bob sends $25 says, Turtleboy, the Canton Select Board meeting tonight. Chris Albert was appointed clerk of the Select Board with a 5-0 vote, including sellout Trish. Are you kidding me? Trish Boyden voted to make. No, she didn't. What the fuck is the point of reform if they're going to vote like that? You know, she kind of sold out Rita too. Like, she encouraged people like not to vote, to bullet vote for her. Bullet voting is when you only vote for one candidate when you can vote for two. Because I'm like, I assume that Trish and Rita would have very similar vote numbers in the Canton Board of Selectmen meeting election. Like they would have the same amount, but she got first and Rita got third. There were like hundreds of votes apart, and Mike Loughran got second. So who are these people that voted for Trish Boyden and not Rita? Like, what the fuck's up with that? Who did that? And I'm told that she like encouraged people to do that. And it's like, what? You're less. What's the point of the reform? That's shitty if that happened. Politics makes people ugly, you know. But thank you, Rita, for she still goes. You know, Rita lost, very close election, but to her credit, she beat the chairman. Like, what's his name there? Theodore, the old curmudgeon there. I mean, she beat him, and he's a part of an institution, and she took him down. So, how about that? To me, that's pretty better than last. You know, better than last. All right. All right. So we got a couple cash apps to get through here real quick. Just let me bang some of these out. We have JJ sends $5 and says the fam should file wrongful death suits against the McAlberts. My worry is they're going to file one against Karen. They're going to get OJ got sued, but that motherfucker did it. Like, everybody know OJ did it, and nobody thinks Karen Reed did it. Thank you. Leah sends $10, has no comment. Thank you, Leah. Jennifer has $15. No comment. Thank you, Jennifer. Melissa sends $5 and says, Lally is pathetic. You are the GOAT, Turtle Boy. Well, thank you very much, Melissa. I appreciate that. Sharon sends $25 and says, ignore the noise. Keep speaking the truth. I'll try my best, Sharon. I appreciate that. Next one up. Let's see. David sends $20. 𝗕𝗏boy has exposed corruption. Thank you. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. I tried my best. Renee sends $50 earlier today. It says sending love and support from North Carolina. Tar Heels down there. Thank you, Renee. That's very sweet of you. Thank you very much. We have Turtle Riders all over the country now. Okay, cool. All right. Again, yeah. All right, so let's just get this started, shall we? Let's jump right into the content of and what's the poll up to? 67% still. 2,000 people, 68% say no. So I guess I'm not the only one feeling not as optimistic as I was prior to this. Okay. So let's pull this up today's testimony. I don't have a lot of timestamps. We're going to have to jump around as best we can here. Do I see a Dakota? A North Dakota. All right. Nice. Love it. 𝗫𝗏𝗀𝗻 lifestyle. All right, here we go.
Disposed of with the phone.
No, I understand, but are you reluctant to say that you put it in a trash bag, sir?
Objection.
Okay.
Can you answer that? Are you reluctant to say
All right,
that?
No, Your Honor, I put in a.
That's simple.
We started off with a bang, right? We started off with Brian Higgins because it ended on a high note the other day when Auntie Bev just cut it off and we were right in the middle of the he's destroying his phone part. Like, why is this dude destroying his phone? And now Jackson's not here because he's got a little one. He's got a little one back home, like a 4 or 5-year-old. And, you know, he's basically got the week off if he takes today off. And I'm sure he would like to see his family. And he's like, I think David can tap in. And quite frankly, I like the whole little yin and yang they got going on there between those two. They're very different, but they're both very effective in their own way. And I feel like David was kind of like the closer today, you know? Not everybody's a starting pitcher. Mariano Rivera still made the Hall of Fame. So Яннеtti comes on there today, and I thought he was – I feel like, you know, Jackson had 6 hours with this guy. It had run its course, right? Time for a little change of pace there. Change of pace. And I thought Яннеtti did a good job today and kind of finished him off, you know, because Pedro can't go 9 innings every time. He can't. Sometimes you got to bring in the closer, and I thought Яннеtti – did that very well today. So let's play some of this.
And June of 2023, June 1st of 2023 was about a year ago, correct?
Yes.
It was about a year closer to you're throwing your phone away, correct?
Yes.
And in that testimony that you gave in June 1st of 2023, did you say the following, quote, I made sure that somebody couldn't put it in their phone?
Yes, I did say that.
In fact, by either cutting up or ripping up your SIM card, you also knew that that SIM card couldn't be put back in your phone either, correct?
Yeah, I believe that would be correct.
And you'll agree with me that you took that destroyed SIM card and put it in a trash bag, did you not?
I believe it went in a trash bag, yes.
Well, you used a passive voice. It went in a trash bag. Did it fly out of your hand unexpectedly into a trash bag, sir?
This is great.
No, sir. It would have been disposed of with the phone.
No, I understand. But are you reluctant to say that you put it in a trash bag, sir?
Objection.
Can you answer that? Are you reluctant to say that?
No, Your Honor, I put it in a trash bag.
Finally, it's just like everything with these people is a fight. I put it in a trash bag. Okay.
Oh, with my
And
trash.
then you also took your phone, now without the SIM card, and you put that in the trash bag too, did you not?
Yes, sir.
Then you drove to a military base and you threw both the destroyed SIM card and the phone into a dumpster, did you not?
Well, I was cutting through the base, and I believe how I
Did you
testified
drive to
was.
a military base, sir?
Okay. So first of all, so I looked up the Air Force base, the military base in Cape Cod. All right, let me pull this up. Military base, Cape Cod. Okay, and the joint base, Cape Cod. That's the one. That's the one where he said he did it, right? So let's look at where this is, because he says he was driving through it, doing a shortcut. Because who amongst us hasn't taken a shortcut through a United States military base, right? How do I click on this? All right, here we go. So I looked at, oh, get out of there. Get out of there. All right. So this is so this is like the joint. Get out of here. What does that thing do? What is going on right now? The joint base Cape Cod. Let me. All right, I got a better one over here. I don't know what's going on with that map. All right, so this is Joint Base Cape Cod. And I'm like, so like, I'm like looking at this map today and I'm like, where is the shortcut? Like, how do you get into here? So I think this is Otis Air Force Base over here. So you just, how are you going from point A to point B and you went through a military base? Like how? Like he lives in Sandwich somewhere. I probably like up, is Forestdale, is this part of Sandwich or is this part of Mashpee or Falmouth? It's part of, it's part of Sandwich. Okay. Maybe he lives in there. I don't know. Okay. But like, why would you cut through here? Like, wouldn't you take Route 6 and then just go down this way? Why would you ever need to cut through a military base? Because he does live somewhere over here, but it's just an odd thing to do. Like, why is he? And nobody believes it. These people are just pathological liars. Everything they say is a lie. And he goes, I don't care if you cut through. Did you go to a military base and throw your trash out?
I was cutting through a base, yes.
Did you drive to it?
Yes, sir.
And then you put both the destroyed SIM card and the phone itself, which were in a trash bag, into a dumpster on that military base, did you not?
I believe that's what I did, yes.
And as you were driving away, you knew that destroyed SIM card and the phone would be gone forever, correct?
Yes, I threw it away.
And before you drove away, you did not transfer anything from your old phone to the new phone, correct?
That's correct.
You lost all of your photos on that phone, did you not?
Whatever photos I had on there, I did, yes.
You lost all your videos on that phone, did you not?
To the extent if I had any.
You lost all of your other text messages besides the ones that you had with Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, correct?
That's correct.
And you knew that you did have text messages on that old phone with Kevin Albert.
He's a friend, most likely.
You also had text messages on your phone with Nicole Albert.
Most likely, yes.
And you had text messages on your phone with Brian Albert.
Yes.
So let me get this straight. Just to be clear here. First of all, when the cops came in my house last October and they searched the house and they said that I had 6, whatchamacallit, I had 6 phones in my house that they confiscated. And people were like, oh, he must be a drug dealer. Oh, he's a drug dealer. He's a drug dealing drugs. That's why he has so many phones. They're old phones. I don't know about you people. I mean, iPhones have been around for a while. I've been an iPhone guy since, I don't know, 2010. I don't know when they started, whenever we graduated from Blackberries, right? Or flip phones. There's a Blackberry transition there, right? It's like how you get, it's like a tadpole, right? It gets you from point A, it gets you from flip phones to iPhones. And so you go through them. Like, remember they used to do the free upgrades too? Like back in, before they were cheap, they would just give you a free phone every couple of years. But you still got to get a new phone every few years because the phones break. It is what it is. And you want a new phone. So you finance it or whatever. You just pay for it. Anyway, I don't, bottom line is I don't throw them out. I don't know about you people. You guys throw out your phones? Who throws out a phone? A phone is worth something. Like you can put it on Facebook Marketplace, right? You know, or you give it to give a kid or your mother or somebody who needs an extra phone. You give them a phone. And you can bring it to the Verizon and they'll put whatever phone number you want on it. It can correspond with anybody. It's a phone. You just hook it up to a number and it's fine. It's it. Okay. Who the fuck is like, oh, old phone, not using this anymore. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to destroy it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking destroy it. I'm going to take the SIM card out, whatever that is. I don't even know. This is an iPhone. I don't know what the fuck is SIM. How do I get the SIM? I don't know what this is. Where is it? Is it on the side? Do I open this up? Where do I get the SIM? Like, what does this mean? Is it the button on the bottom? I don't even know what that means. But he does. And he takes the SIM card out. And he takes the rest. He puts it in one trash bag. The rest of the phone in another trash bag. Then he goes to the military base and throws them in a dumpster. And like, who does that? Just throw it in the fucking closet like a normal person. Throw it in the drawer. Like, who destroys it? Like, that's your first thing? And then, okay, some of us get new numbers. Like, I've had to get a new number before because there was an incident a couple years ago. The hackening, people, I got, is a long story, but I got convinced that my phone was hacked. It was just people fucking with me. The whole thing was just big mind fuck. I wasn't really hacked. So I got a new number out of that. I just got a new number. I didn't have to destroy my phone in the process. I just got a new number. That's it. It's not that hard. So anyway, what was I talking about here? Oh yeah. So like this, and then you want your old pictures and stuff like that, right? Like it's all like in the cloud, is it not? But this guy's like, no, I want to destroy everything. But the messages that he keeps are Karen Reed's phone, because we know that Matt Kelch, his boy, his best friend, as he calls him, Matt Kelch, the Aaron Hernandez guy, the expert from the ATF, I want to say, I think he's ATF. He asked Matt Kelch, can you show me how to extract my phone? And Matt Kelch is like, oh yeah, no problem. You just plug it into the machine. It extracts. No. Not the whole phone, just the awkward flirtatious messages with Karen Reed in which I don't get laid. I just want those messages only. What about all your other messages and pictures and videos? No, burn it. I'm going to burn that shit. I never want to see those messages again the rest of my life. I just want the Karen Reed ones. Can you save those in a file for me? And he's like, sure, I guess. I shouldn't really use federal resources for personal reasons, but fuck it. You're my boy, Higgs. So let's do some felonies together. Okay. So now he's going to explain this thought process.
It was important to you that no one see those text exchanges that you had with those 3 members of the Albert family.
Objection.
I'll let him have it.
No, sir, that's not true.
You took no steps to preserve those text messages, did you?
That's correct.
You did not ask your friend Matt Kelch, the agent, to help you extract those text messages, did you?
No.
That's correct.
And when you went to that machine, you did not extract them yourself, did you?
He walked me through it. I did do the extraction.
You did not extract the 3 strands of text messages with Nicole Albert, Kevin Albert, and Brian Albert to preserve from that machine, did you not?
No, I did not extract those.
No.
So the only place you knew they existed was on your old phone, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The same phone that you put into a dumpster on a military base with a SIM card removed from the phone and destroyed, correct?
Well, I did throw the SIM card and the phone on the military base.
Right, and the SIM card was destroyed. You've already testified to that.
I said to the extent of if I did that, I would have done that.
And we're talking about the actual phone that would have had your text messages, again, with Brian, Nicole, and Kevin Albert, correct?
Yes, because the motion was denied.
Well, you already testified, sir, earlier, that you never received anything in writing that either canceled or lifted the initial preservation order, correct?
That is correct.
You knew when you were throwing that phone and the destroyed SIM card in the dumpster that from that day forward, no one would ever be able to access the content of what you and Brian Albert had discussed by text messages on your old phone.
He's
correct?
on the defense list.
Anybody.
I'm nothing further.
There we go.
Lally?
Thank you, Your Honor.
That was great. Then Lally gets up there, asks some stupid shit.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
If I could take you back just for a moment to January 29th, early in the morning, you're pulling away from the Albert home, correct?
Yes.
You had plow down in front of your Jeep Wrangler, is that correct?
Initially, it was still on the ground. Yes.
And about how long distance again was that on the ground before you pulled that up?
Maybe a foot.
And with relation to the curb, specifically in front of the area with the flagpole and fire hydrant, how close to the curb were you when you were pulling away from the Albert house?
I believe I looked both ways. There was no vehicles coming in either direction. I pulled out into traffic, and because that's a 1-lane road, if there's no other vehicles, I'd be more to the center of that road.
Now, maybe a silly question, but with reference to the front of your Jeep Wrangler, that didn't have any red plastic pieces or anything like that on front of it, correct?
At what time? At what point?
At any time.
No.
And that's the same Jeep Wrangler that you then drove to the Canton police station immediately after?
Directly from there,
It's
yes.
the same
And
Wrangler
then you drove
that,
that same Jeep Wrangler back to your home in West
that
Rock, correct?
nobody saw.
Yes.
And then you
Okay.
drove that same Jeep Wrangler back to Fairview Road the following later on that morning?
Yes.
And then you drove that same Jeep Wrangler from Fairview Road to the Canton police station again later that morning, correct?
Yes.
All right. So anyway, so that was Higgs. There's I think Yannetti comes back. I want to.
Oh, no.
And then beyond that one text message that you testified to on the 28th, the next text message you received from the defendant was
Okay, I'm so sick of the
as you
text.
sort of place that call, you hit the button, there's sort of a timer that comes up and it starts counting off.
Oh, here
seconds
it
as
is.
the call is being connected,
Oh,
correct?
this. Listen to this part.
I believe so.
Okay,
You were
this is how Lally is literally their lawyer. So Lally knows the 222 butt dial looks pretty bad, right? So this is how he tries to coach this guy into explaining the butt dial for him.
Some questions on Friday about a phone call or something in a call log from about 2 o'clock or 2:22 in the morning of January 29th. Do you recall that?
I recall the questions, yes.
And you have an iPhone, or you had an iPhone, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when you make a call on an iPhone, as you sort of place that call, you hit the button, there's sort of a timer that comes up and it starts counting off seconds as the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
And so seconds are ticking off while the call is being connected, correct?
I believe so. Yes.
And if a call is connected, then it starts ringing, and unless someone picks up immediately, there are further seconds that are ticking off on an iPhone while that call is ringing through, correct?
I believe so.
Listen to this shit.
The objection sustained is to the phone.
You were asked some questions about a call or a call back between yourself and Brian Albert around that time frame. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were trying to explain sort of what your answers were in that prior proceeding in reference to.
Yes.
What, if anything else, did you want to explain to the jury in regard to that? Okay.
And that's
like-
foremost.
And like, it's like, so first of all, you see what he's getting at here? He knows there's a 22-second call between Higgins and Albert at 2:22 that they both claim they didn't do. So he's claiming that, okay, the 22 seconds are the 22 seconds of when you call someone. So like I could call a person right now on my phone and I can see the number that get to 22 seconds. And so Lally's suggesting here that maybe, Higgins, you called someone and it rang for 22 seconds and they didn't answer, and that's why it came up as 22 seconds. This is what he's suggesting. Like nobody has an iPhone. Like nobody has a phone to know that's not how it works, stupid. It's going to start timing you from the minute you pick up the phone. I mean, they're just such liars. Like who? I'm telling you, they're going to get away with
You asked
murder.
some specific points as far as your testimony and progress, correct?
Yes.
What, if anything else, would you say in reference to
The
that?
fact that it said answer.
Sustained is to the phone, Mr. Lally.
Did you ever speak with Brian Albert at 2:22 in the morning on January 29th?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
Do you recall making a call or receiving a call from Brian Albert around that time?
No, I do not.
Liar.
You were asked some questions on Friday regarding key card access within the Canton police station, correct?
Yes.
Now, as far as that door that you utilized, you would
Okay. So we have Yannetti get him back again?
It would be a drink glass at a bar, food, something along those lines.
This guy loves
I had more
food.
of a connection to my work phone and more of a value to my
Oh,
work
how
phone
about this?
than I did my personal phone.
No, this is his explanation for the phone. Why
now,
you
as
got
far
rid
as
of it.
that military base down the Cape,
Actually.
and why was it that you disposed of the phone?
Okay, listen to
Because
this.
it was beaten, it was broken up, and I had already had a new phone, and this only explanation is I threw it away. That's it.
So his phone was beaten up, so he
Now,
just threw it away.
Beyond sort of this case, what, if anything else, was going on with reference to your personal phone that led you to
Listen to this
want to do
shit.
it?
Listen to this shit.
So in July of 2022,
Oh my God.
I had a target of an investigation I was working who alleged that he called me
A
on my
target.
personal cell phone.
A target.
And when I
What?
questioned him as to the fact how he obtained my personal telephone number, he told me that his girlfriend had obtained it off of open source internet, which I later confirmed
You
that
lions.
that number was out there.
What, if any, concerns did that raise for you, sir?
So I had a lot of concerns. And that's so July 22 is when I probably started thinking about, you know what, I got to get rid of the telephone number itself.
And a lot of
Okay. Okay. Shut the fuck up, Higgins. Okay. I get phone call. I've gotten a threat during this show. Like people message me all the time. All the time. Because my phone number ain't that hard to find on the internet. Like I'm getting one now saying, don't mess with Karen and her camp. This is what somebody just texted me. The dirt goes both ways, and you are the one with all the felonies. Remember, the Mockingjay took down an entire empire. You're nothing in comparison. You know why you were cut out. You are the weakest link. This is a message I just got from someone. I don't know who this is, right? I get them all the time. And now if I'm Higgins, I have no choice but to take out my SIM card, throw it in the freaking thing, in the trash, and just take it to a military base. Yeah. Like, this is what I'm told to, like, this is what I have no choice but to do if I'm this dude, right? Because somebody sent me a message. He's saying that I'm an ATF agent. Some guy is a target, which means that he's like the guy I'm supposed to get. He got my phone number. So I had to take out my SIM card and destroy my whole phone. Take it down to Cape. Yeah.
the work that you were doing, at least at that time, was undercover work. Is that correct?
Before this case right here, yes.
Now, as far as the SIM card that you're talking about, do you have any specific memory of doing anything with that SIM card?
No, and that's how I testified in that other hearing, that to the extent of what I would have done is I would have cut it up or broke it. And the concern would be that to my understanding, that's not holding any photos, that's not holding videos, that's not holding my contacts. It's holding phone information itself.
Shout out to Craig from Dedham House of Pizza. Great dude. Met him yesterday. Side note too, love Dedham House of Pizza. Love their cheese pizza there. It's excellent. Excellent. Anyway, back to this.
As far as photos or videos or anything like that, did you even have them?
I didn't have much in the sense that I'm divorced. I don't have kids. I didn't have the typical memories that somebody would have had on their phone that they wanted to preserve. They were more like the text messages with the defendant, where it would be a drink glass at a bar, food, something along those lines. I had more of a connection to my work phone and more of a value to my work phone than I did my personal phone.
Oh my God. This guy's like, bro, I got no kids. I'm a single dude. I got no priceless memories on my phone. I can just throw it away at any given time, you know, and I got the target of my investigation contacting me. So I had no choice but to destroy my phone. Like, he's such a lying piece of shit. These are the people who police us. This guy's a liar. A liar.
Now, as far as that military base down the Cape, how often, let me ask you this, when you lived at the residence in Barnstable County, what would you do with your trash down there?
Well, if I was going through and I had trash or some recycling and I was either getting gas on the base or hitting the duty free, I would occasionally toss a bag of trash in one of the dumpsters there. Or if I forgot, I would throw it out when I got back to my other property. And at the time, at one point, I was living in Canton and I had the house there, and then I sold it, and then I had the in-law I was renting, so I had other options to throw things away.
In-law.
Do you have trash pickup at your residence in Barnstable?
No.
So if you were to throw away anything, any sort of trash, it would have to be either at the base or at one of your other homes.
It would be somewhere else.
And so with reference to the phone and the SIM card, if you even did you drive specifically to the base to throw your phone away, or were you throwing it away with other trash?
It was just with other trash.
Oh, yeah. Does he not have trash pickup at his house? Why does he need to go to the... Is there not a dumpster close by? You have to go to the Army base to dispose of your
You were
trash?
shown some call logs or some toll records or something to that effect last Friday with respect to calls that you had made or received around January 29, 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was that anything that you had specifically preserved and given to the troopers, or that was something that someone was...
Work now, being a tactical medic. If I had saw John O'Keefe on the side of the road, I would have done something to make a difference.
I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe he said this
No further
today.
questions.
If I saw John O'Keefe on the side of the road, I would have done something. He wasn't there. What if you saw him inside a house, bleeding out, puking? Yeah, you wouldn't do anything about that. And I'll tell you one thing. I know it wasn't... Higgins had to have been involved, and he couldn't have been the only one. How do I know this? If Higgins wasn't involved, he could just save himself by ratting. But they got shit on him, and he's got shit on them. And now they're in it together. See what I'm saying? If Higgins delivered the fatal blow, they would have fucking thrown that guy down the river so fast. But he can just say, like, dude, you know, like, no, I guarantee him, Colin, and Brian were all involved. They had to be involved. So anyway, and I got another Colin fight video. I was actually writing him. I got a third Colin fight video, and he doesn't do well in this one either. He's not much of a fighter. There's no way Colin could do this by himself. But anyway, let's listen to Yannetti real quick.
Feel free to stand up and stretch.
Oh, this is where they take the break. All right.
Do you deny?
I was so concerned that I reported it to my supervisor. I was so concerned.
Get rid of your phone was a July 22nd call from a target of an investigation that you were working on?
I never said it was a prime motivator.
Was it a prime motivator?
No, what I testified to was that the phone number was what I was concerned about primarily.
Right.
Didn't have anything to do with the phone.
Oh, you did not change your phone number on July 22nd, correct?
July of 2022? Is that what you mean?
The date that you received a call, supposedly, from a target of an investigation you were working on was July 22nd of which year?
So I believe it was July 25th of 2022. I was so concerned that I reported it to my supervisor.
Right, but you did not change your phone number after that for quite a while, correct?
I believe it was September.
Okay. So for those months, you kept the same phone number and kept the same phone, correct?
I did.
And September happened to be the month that you received the preservation order from this court, correct?
September.
All right, so we get the point here. This guy destroyed his phone. All right. So from there on out, then things got interesting. Being in the courtroom today was really interesting. So there is an order from the court that the children are not to be photographed, okay, or anything like that, which is fine. Like, they're going to have these kids testify. And I knew it was like, it felt like a field trip today. There was a bunch of kids in there. And I'm like, and as I was walking down the stairs, Erin O'Keefe had her 2 kids there, and she saw me walking down. She's like, hurry, kids, hurry. And she's like, bitch, I'm not going to hurt your kids. Stop it. I'm not the boogeyman. I don't want to hurt your kids. All right. I mean, I feel bad for them. You know, I feel bad for all the kids in this situation. It's horrific what they've been put through. Horrific. Anyway, so anyway, yeah, what's just saying here? So the order is that we can't, and Grant is like having a goddamn meltdown about this. Let me see here. Let me see, Grant Smith Jones. Okay. So this is what Grant writes. Okay. Not that Grant's a serious person, but let's see. Where's the order? All right. Something. What does it say the order on here? He like posted it a million times today. Basically, the media shall not film, photograph, transmit, or audio record the minor witnesses at any time. So they had to stop doing the audio and video of the kids when they testified. The media shall not film, photograph, transmit, or audio record any exhibits containing prior interviews of the minor children. Okay. If disclosed in court, the media shall not disclose the names of the children and their guardians, nor the schools the children attend, nor the town that they live in. Now, keep in mind, right? Keep in mind, the names of these kids, particularly the girl, have been mentioned a million times by witnesses under oath while being recorded and streamed to an audience of millions, like dozens of times in this trial, especially with Jennifer McCabe. Because Jennifer McCabe got a call from the girl at 4:53 a.m. She says her name like so many times. So these people who are so obsessed with like, oh, protecting the children, we have to keep their names out of it. They're the ones who keep saying the names of the kids. That's it. So anyway, Grant doesn't get this. So what they come up to us and they were like, you can't, this new thing they added, they said you can't be on your phones or electronic devices when this is happening. It's like, what? Where does it say that in the order? You can't be on your phones or electronic devices. It doesn't say that. But the other O'Keefe grandmother, Erin O'Keefe's mother, who's a real peach, she, oh God, I can't stand her. She was like, why do they have their phones out? Why do they have their computers out? And they told us we had to put our computers away. I mean, we're treating these kids like some sort of Fabergé egg. I didn't bring the kid. I didn't ask the kids to testify. Y'all did. There's a murder trial. It's a nationally recorded thing. We can't say their names, but you guys can elicit their names in testimony. So the media can't say them, but the witnesses who are being televised can. How does that make any sense? These people act like they care so much about these kids. I got news for you. If you give a shit about these kids, you would not let them testify. That's one thing I'll tell you right now. Allowing these kids to testify today is child abuse. These people are a bunch of filthy, disgusting child abusers, which is why they're so drawn and so willing to become friendly with people like Crusty Panties and the Fake Victim, because that's their idea of parents, okay? They're shitty parents, all of them. All these people are shitty parents. If you allow these 2 children to give this use, and their testimony today was useless. It's going to go nowhere. It's not going to lead to any sort of conviction. It's meaningless. The testimony that they gave today, all it did was re-traumatize them and showed the world what child abuse looks like. That's what you all witnessed today. Well, you didn't witness it. I witnessed it because I was in the courtroom, because I got a press pass. I'm media. I'm credentialed. So I witnessed child abuse today on the stand. It was disgusting. It was absolutely freaking disgusting what happened on the stand today. So they didn't let us take, so they gave us notebooks. We all took notes. And then I came out and I did an impromptu video in which I shared what happened. So let me play my video here real quick of my impromptu press conference outside explaining the hour and a half of testimony that I heard from the two witnesses. So the boy goes first. And again, I'm sure these kids are great kids, right? They've been through a lot, man. These kids were orphaned twice. Their mother died of cancer, and their father died shortly after that. And so the boy was like 3 when this happened, and the girl was 6. And then John adopts him. He gets murdered by the McAlberts. And then the people in their life who are supposed to care about them put them on the D&E pizza. I shit you not. Again, like for you newcomers, pizza, actually, TV Daily News, baseball, Little League, Canton. Okay, let's see what comes up. D&E. Here it is. Check this out. If you're new here, part 16 of 300, whatever we're on now. Okay. Canton cover up, part 16. Kerry Roberts posts Facebook picture showing John O'Keefe's nephew advertising Chris Albert's pizza shop and bar where he met his murderers. So that's his son. Okay. And it's John's nephew. It says D&E Pizza. Owned by Chris Albert. Okay. I mean, disgusting, these people. And there's Chris throwing out the first pitch with the corrupt chief and this. Oh my God, this human burrito, John Connolly. Oh God. And there's his stupid son, Colin. Okay. He's lovely. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We don't need to go over all that. Anyway, where was I? So let's listen to my version of the testimony today, because I read my notes out loud. I went outside and spoke to the people.
All right, guys, listen. So here's the deal. Obviously, they told us we can't like live tweet or anything like that in the courtroom. So we had to take notes.
Oh,
the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
So, for both kids when they testified. So
let's hear it.
Both kids did testify. The boy went first, and I'm just going to read my notes here. Okay.
Okay.
So first thing, for Lally's, what you doing his usual nonsense, wasting time asking stupid questions like, what's your favorite sport?
He did that.
What's your favorite subject? Wasting time like that. He asked the boy if Karen was took care of them. He said yes. That the relationship was sometimes tough and sometimes good between Karen and.
I just wanted to kill myself when he started asking. When he actually asked the kid, "What was your favorite? What's your favorite sport?" He asked him. And he asked the most Lally question of all time today. You guys couldn't see it, but this was the actual question. He said, what, if any, he asked the kid, what's your favorite subject in sport? And then he goes, what, if anything, is your favorite sport? Or does that sort of change with the seasons? This is what Adam Lally asked this child today. So tell me about what's your favorite sport? Or does that sort of change with the seasons? Seriously, Lunchbox? Seriously? Okay.
On that there were disagreements and yelling that happened, quote unquote, frequently more towards the end. He says that she was, quote, nice most of the time
Nice.
to them. Lally asks if there were not so nice times between John and Karen, to which the defense objected and led to a sidebar because that's a stupid question. And he said that there was a few times that he got in trouble and yelled at by Karen, but he said that when she got mad at him for taking a long time to eat food. So this is the stupid conversation that's going on there right now, and that she would ignore them and kind of go away and just when she was mad at them. He doesn't recall if the fights led to her leaving the house. He said that the Aruba arguments were nothing crazy. That when he came back to Meadows Ave, everyone looked down and sad, and that Paul informed him what happened because he did not sleep in the house that night. He says that Karen looked sad and was crying at the kitchen table, and there were a couple others. He said that there was a computer upstairs because they always talk about this computer and insinuate she deleted ring camera footage.
Okay. So I have here, I want to see if I can find this. I've been meaning to save this. And I'm surprised they didn't save it, but I mean, I have it. So I have here, and as a reporter, I can't not talk about this. So hold on. 39. Let me see if the number 39 comes up here. 39 birthday. No, that doesn't come up. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So let me just read a message here. Okay. I'm not going to say who this is from, but I want to be so this is from a girl, this message, to a woman. I'm just going to read this to you. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to post the message on the. I'm going to read this message. I never read this message before. I wanted to share this message. So, happy birthday. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. I really appreciate it. I can't believe it's only been 1 year that I've known you. It feels like forever. I can't imagine my life without you. You are the most amazing person I have ever met. And I hope your birthday treats you well. Can't wait to make more amazing memories. This is a message a text message I'm looking at right now that says this. I'm not. Who do you think that's from, and who do you think that's to? I think you know. I think you know who this message is from and who it's to. And I think you'd know how I would have a message like this. This message was not shared in court today, but I thought I'd share it with you all today. Again, happy birthday. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. I really appreciate it. I can't believe it's only been 1 year that I've known you. It feels like forever. I can't imagine my life without you. You are the most amazing person I have ever met. Can't wait to make more amazing memories. And this is the person. And now they got this person today to take the stand after poisoning her brain with 𝗵𝗵𝗆𝗆 lies for the last 2 years and got her to say mean things about the same person she sent this message to back in the day. This is a screenshot of I'm looking at it right now. Okay. It says the name at the top of the message. It's clearly from there. So Karen Reed's team didn't share this today because they didn't want to, I don't know, maybe they didn't feel comfortable doing it, but I'm going to share it because that message is from John's niece to Karen Reed. And she sent that message on her birthday. Again, one more time. It said, I can't imagine my life without you. You are the most amazing person I have ever met. And they convinced this poor girl that the woman she sent this message to, and you're right, Max, or Ma Edwards, she shouldn't have had to. They convinced this poor girl that the woman she sent this message to is a murderer. And they filled her brain with 𝗵𝗆𝗆𝗆 lies and whatever. I don't have permission to share this. I don't give a shit. I'm sharing it. Okay. Because it's fucked up what happened on the stand today. And I know the truth about what this happened. I know the truth about the relationship. And I got a lot more than just this. I got tons of happy pictures with them. Like Karen was a great role model in their lives. Right. Karen Reed is successful. Like they're trying to make her out to be this devil. Who do you think set the trust fund up for these kids? That it's going to make them financially set for the rest of their lives. It wasn't Paul. It wasn't her brother Paul with the new extension on his house in West Bridgewater. It wasn't him. It was the person who is not related to them, but acted as a motherly figure for them and was understandably frustrated that, and was going through normal relationship problems with her boyfriend because she felt like she was kind of the de facto stepmother, or as Jennifer McCabe called her, the babysitter with benefits. That's how that's the way they spoke of her. Who wouldn't be a little frustrated with that? Who wouldn't want to vent to someone about that, even if it is an oaf like Brian Higgins? So there, and these kids should look up to Karen Reed. Karen Reed's a much better role model than any of these Canton skanks like Jennifer McCabe, who doesn't have a job, who's unemployed. Why doesn't she work? Her kids are all old enough. She can get a job. Why doesn't she have a job? Oh, right, because she just sits at home. She's a real housewife of Canton, living off of her fat husband, Matt McCabe, 𝗬𝗏𝗄𝗆, as we call him, 𝗕𝗏cie𝗵𝗀𝗆, living off of his grift. And Karen Reed, meanwhile, is a independent woman who is successful, right? Graduated from college in 3 years. It's supposed to take 4, but she's wicked smart. So that's a good example to lead. And she's a financial whatever. People trust her with their money at Fidelity. Ever heard of it? Kind of a big company. And, you know, she's been working there for over a decade, probably making like $250,000 a year, doing well for herself, right? That's a good role model to have for your kid. And this kid likes her, obviously, more than likes, I'd say, looks up to, admires her. And then they kill her uncle after her dad and mom died 10 years ago. They kill her uncle. And then they're like, that woman who was a great role model in her life, she did it. And then we're gonna take you out of Bishop Feehan and send you to Canton so you could be a townie. And then we're gonna tell you that that woman's evil for 2 years and prep you for this. And then we're gonna throw you out there and make you testify against her in court. First time seeing her in a couple of years. You're gonna go into court and you're gonna testify against her. Fucking evil, man. This is not, and I watched it today. I'm like, oh wow, it's not just 𝗵𝗄𝗆 who's evil. It's Adam Lally. Adam, don't be fooled by the haircut and the hair gel. He's actually evil incarnate. He's a horrible person. Don't tell me he's just doing his job. So was the guy working the night shift at Auschwitz. He was doing his job too. Do you like your job? And you like your job? There's other jobs out there. You don't have to work for a corrupt government. It's not required. So anyway, let's play a little more.
That there was a computer upstairs in the office, and that he doesn't remember if the defendant had an account. They called her the defendant, which is pretty gross.
Oh yeah, they do that the whole time. They called her the defendant. Both kids called it. They were coached to do that, just as they were coached with the toxicity. The girl said the relationship had toxicity in it. What kind of kid says that word?
The defendant, and but he doesn't remember if she had an account. So if she doesn't have an account, then she couldn't have deleted the ring camera footage as these idiots like to suggest she did.
Oh, yeah. So this is the lie that we've heard from the 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗆 Mafia for quite some time, right? That they deleted ring camera footage video from the Karen on January 29th, goes back to 1 Meadows Ave, and it's like, you know what I need to do? I need to delete the ring camera footage. Because they said that she went there and then she went upstairs and there's a computer upstairs. So she must have deleted the ring camera footage because it's missing from 1 to 5. Now, whoever had John's phone could also delete the ring camera footage. They're suggesting that Karen, and this isn't a joke, and they call us conspiracy theorists. They're saying that Karen deleted that footage because on that footage, it shows that she snuck out of the house at 3 o'clock or something like that. Went back to the scene of the crime to make sure John was dead, and Lucky Loughran mistook her black Lexus for a Ford Edge. This is what and then she came back and she put John's car in that position so that, and then but didn't delete the footage after 5 because she wanted to show herself backing into the Chevy Traverse. And that gives her a fake excuse for breaking the taillight. This is what they say. I shit you not. I shit you not. This is what they've said with a straight face. And they call us conspiracy theorists. But this was debunked today because both of the kids testified that John offered to give them access to the ring camera footage, the computer upstairs, make an account for them. The kids turned it down, and both of them testified that Karen did as well. So there goes that one. There goes that latest McAlbert lie.
They said that Lally asked if the phone was connected to the vehicle. He started asking stupid questions about Senator Console. The highlight was this. David Dinetti on cross-examination asked her one question. Did John or Karen ever raise a hand in anger towards each other? She said no. And then he said, quote, "I'm sorry that you were made to come here today." And the prosecution...
I wish you guys could have seen that moment. It was awesome. Powerful. I looked around. I'm like, wow. I'm sorry no one else got to witness that. It was amazing. And maybe, I don't know if we'll ever get the court audio from it. What he said was so powerful. The way he delivered it too. right? You know, the way that she delivered that too was just amazing. And the way he delivered that, I'm sorry, was just amazing. He basically, like, you know how Yannetti drops things and he kind of walks away. Remember that time he was like, and there was a Ford Edge parked there. But Brian Albert isn't the only one who drives a Ford Edge. Colin Albert also drives a Ford Edge. And he just kind of walks away. That's how Yannetti does it. It was the same thing here. He just looked at the kid. He got the one question he asked was, has John ever raised a hand to Karen? Has Karen ever raised a hand to John? No. I'm so sorry. What was the exact quote? That they made you come here today. What the exact quote was, I'm so sorry that they made you come here today. He sounded so sincere when he said it too. I'm so sorry. He just looked at the kid in the eyes. I am so sorry that they made you come here today. Immediate objection. Immediate. Like loud as a fuck that, no. Because the jury heard that. And they're like, wow, you guys look like pieces of shit. And the defense looks like the compassionate ones here. Because they're not going to try to break this kid down as a liar or shit like that.
Should immediately objected to that, but it was pretty powerful. A lot of people were like, wow. Said, I'm sorry that you were made to come here today. Now the girl went next.
Nice. New record audience. Let's get this up to $8,000.
About what's your favorite subject? How long you've been living with your grandparents? She said they met in 2020 for the first time.
By the way, keep screenshotting that. I think we got up to 7.6 last time. Keep screenshotting. If we get to 7.7, I want to set a new record.
Definitely was a worse witness for Karen than the brother. She says that her relationship was with Karen Reed was, quote, dependent on the day, and that she was closer with the brother than she was with her.
So it's dependent on
the day.
She says
that it was good at the beginning, but it was, quote unquote, toxicity towards the end. He says that she also refers to Karen as the defendant. She said that John will walk away from fights, but that Karen will, quote, follow him and keep yelling like normal people, like welcome to relationships, I guess.
I mean, seriously, when I heard this, I'm like, dude, what? They're saying that the kid says that she would witness, like when they were getting fights, John would try to walk away, and one time he went in his room, and then she would follow him and keep yelling. It's like, bro, what are you trying to make this relatable? Like, hello, this is like every relationship I've ever been in. When the chick gets mad, and this is what every man should do. I highly recommend it. That's how you know John was a good man. He just walked away, right? You can't argue with the angry woman. It's not gonna end well. Like there's no good happy ending to that. You just got to let them vent. The best way you can do, and what pisses them off more than anything, because they want to engage you in the fight. They want you to fight back, right? But you know that, you've been dating this chick for 2 years. You know where that ends. So he just is like, go walk away. And she follows and yells. He's just like, nope. My grandfather used to do that to my grandmother. He gave her the chop, he called it. When she would sit there and nag him, he would just do this, the chop. And everybody knew that the chop meant that an imaginary wall has gone up there. And he can't hear you anymore because he did the chop. He gave her the chop. That's it. But she kept going. She would keep going, but he couldn't hear it because he did the chop. So that's it. And that's what I do, right? I just walk away. And that's what I tried doing on New Year's Eve. On Christmas Eve. You heard it on the tape. What did that lunatic try to do? She tried to keep me in her apartment. And what did I do? I just tried to leave. And then things got crazy. At least Karen Reed didn't threaten to take 4 small children, put them in a car, and drive an hour away to have a fake abortion for a fake baby, and then crash along the way. At least that didn't happen. When John O'Keefe tried to walk away, the worst Karen Reed did was just keep yapping. Just keep yapping. Oh my God. So anyway.
She says that Karen would defend the brother during arguments and not her. She said that she was closer with John and the brother was closer with Karen. It was weird. And that during the Aruba trip that they argued in front of her about the smooching with 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗃 situation. And it says that, let's see, that he asked Karen to leave the house one night and Karen said no. And that John said the relationship will run its course and then locked himself in his room for 34 minutes and Karen didn't leave. So
30 and 40, meant to say 30.
Welcome to relationships. He says that.
So this was what they testified. The girl testified that on one night, John said, this is not working out. Go into my room, close the door, leave. Okay. Been there before. Right. And she didn't leave. And so the kid testifies this today. It's just like, that sounds normal to me. If John really wanted her to leave, he wouldn't have just gone in his room. He'd been like, get the fuck out of my house. Can you leave my fucking house, please? No, she's got a lot of shit there, first of all. It's like a process to move out. They're in the middle of a fight, an argument, and John gives her the chop. He goes to his room, and he's like, get out of here. Go home. And she's like, no, I want to argue about this some more. John, why are you drinking so much, John? In Aruba, you got nasty with that skank. I know that 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗃, she's a skank. And she says she's like a little sister to you, but she really wants to fuck you, John. I know that. Okay, that's it. Karen, I've had enough of you. Chop. Go to my room. Get out of this. Go away. Go back to you have your own home in Mansfield. Go back there. He's like, I'm not done with you, mister. You're going to listen to me complain some more. I've put up with your bullshit for the last 2 years, and you're out getting wasted with your boys, and you just want to be cool. You want to impress the McAlberts so much. They're these local towny douchebags. Whatever, Karen. Can you get out? Can you stop busting my balls over here? I just want to go out and play quarters with Carl. Can you give me a break? And that's what it was. Okay? This all sounds very normal to me. What are they doing?
Karen was wanted to know if she knew when Ring cameras were installed, and he said that John had access to it and offered the kids access to it and Karen access to it, and they all said no. So both kids testified that Karen does not have access to that Ring camera video. He says that Karen woke her up at 4:30 and told her to call 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 that morning, and that 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 had texted her in the past because she was her coach. That Karen was saying, and this is interesting, she said that Karen was saying, what could have happened? And maybe I did something. Maybe a snowplow hit him. Maybe I hit him. Did I hit him? We're going to get to that one second.
Listen to this.
Lally asks if the vehicle has a backup camera. Like, duh.
So he says for the first time, the girl testifies that Karen said, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? I hit him. Like that whole thing. Nowhere has this ever appeared in her testimony. Even in the charging documents, when these kids were interviewed February 22nd for the first time, they were not interviewed prior to that. It took them almost a month to be interviewed. And all of a sudden they have negative things to say. They're not saying things like they were in that text message anymore. They're saying nasty shit. They're saying that, oh, it was toxic and whatever, but they don't say anything like that. That's the first time she said that today. The first time she didn't tell anyone that before. These children have been coached up. They're turning them into McAlberts. I mean, the transition's done. They are little McAlberts now, and it's sad to see. It is sad to see. It's like one of those, if you've ever seen one of those movies about like child soldiers in Africa, it's sad to see. Like they take the kids and they turn them, they give them a machine gun, they give them a bunch of drugs, and they go, oh, go kill all those villagers over there. We are part of the revolution now. And then they're like, yes, revolution. We must kill the cockroaches. And then they go out there. It's not that bad, but it's the same idea. It's poisoning the minds of children to befriend. And it's not their fault. Their minds were poisoned, but they were poisoned.
And she said the defendant, this is the kid says this, the defendant was a lot more like, just like, very like, she seemed like she was on meds and wasn't sitting still and almost shaky that morning, like somebody had just died or something. When Jen was talking, she said that Jen was calm and didn't get worked up, and told her that John probably went to someone else's house. That's what she told this girl. She knew exactly where John was, dying on that lawn, and she told her that John probably was sleeping at someone else's house. This is at 5:30 in the morning when they went back there.
That's what the girl testified 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 said. Basically, he's probably fucking someone else. He's probably like at 5:30 when Jen knows exactly where John is. She tells him, "Oh, he's probably fine." She's perfectly calm, and the girl has been taught to believe that this is normal, right? That this that it's abnormal for Karen to be upset. She can't find John. She's worried about him. She's crying, and she's the abnormal one because she's not acting calm, cool, and collected like Jen McCabe, who says he's probably just fucking someone else. He's probably at Ashley Brady's house getting some, poontang, some mediocre, washed up Canton Towny poontang, because that's cool. That's where he is. He's not dying on a front lawn somewhere. Don't worry about that.
That later on, when Karen came back, she was only at the house for a short period of time and went upstairs by herself. They frequently bring this up, and it's like that's when she deleted the Ring camera footage. But both kids testified she didn't have access to that. She said that she gave the kid a hug and said, "I feel like I'm living in a nightmare," and left. She said that Yannetti asked.
Yeah, so let me, I'll just X out of that. Let me bring up my Twitter account. Just again, follow me on Twitter because I document the whole day on there. And let's see. The nephew, let's see. Like, this is the kind of shit. The nephew said there were a few times he got in trouble with Karen for not eating all his food. And she, quote, put up an attitude. I mean, this is what we're doing. I couldn't believe I was listening. Like, this is like a kid saying she put up yeah, because she wanted him to eat his food. Oh no. Yeah, what a horrific person. I think the boy knew that this was all stupid too. Let's see. The Lally asked the nephew if Karen Reed accesses the computer. Okay, we've been over that one. Okay. Yeah, for the girl to say that there was toxicity in the relationship, that's not a normal word that 16-year-olds use. Neither is the defendant. It's Karen. They would never call her the defendant. I mean, I just can't believe that. That's so gross. Anyway. So let's go on to the next part here. All right. Before we do that, let me just read some turtle chats, shall we? Do we have any turtle chats here to bang through? Yeah, let me bang through a bunch of these. I'm going to read them as fast as I can, so bear with me. Again, if you want your turtle chat read to the class and I can rant about it, you can click at the link at the top for turtle chat. Donate whatever amount of money you want, and I'll read it out loud to the class. As long as it's not like $1. You can't make me holler for $1. Or you can cash at me $$ @UncleTurtleBoy and do the same thing. Okay. Duffy sends $10 and says, "Hey, plot twist. Ryan Waters is Chloe's new owner." Well, then she's definitely dead. I got bad news for you. Thank you very much, Duffy. If you don't know who Ryan Waters is, search him on the site. You'll be like, wow, that's fucked up. Okay. Steven sends $10 and says, at 𝗬𝗄𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗁 YouTube says he stands with the turtle. Been writing since you were anonymous. Free Karen Reed. Thank you, Steven. Welcome. Glad you're enjoying here. You bet not welcome. You've been around. So thank you. Andrea sends $5 and says, after Karen's acquitted, can she file a lawsuit against Canton? Do you think she'll leave town? Can she file a wrongful death lawsuit? She can definitely sue. I know she's met with civil attorneys before for this. I just don't know how that works, the process of it. And because we're looking into it on my case as well, because this is, they stole your life. They charged you with a crime that you didn't commit. So it's really fucked up. Thank you, Andrea. Amanda sends $5, says, why can't Auntie Bev limit questions and omit and censor? One more question, Mr. Jackson. I know. She's the worst, isn't she? K-Max sends $25, says, wondering where is Karen Reed's friend who attended all the pretrial court dates, the male, well-dressed, paper and salt hair. Haven't seen him. Oh, that's my buddy Adam. Oh, that's my buddy Adam from the that's Nathan Reed's pal. He's a funny guy. And he's been around. He's been probably 3 or 4 court dates so far. I know exactly. Ladies love him. He always used to sit next to me in court. And I used to get a lot of compliments about how handsome the guy next to me was. And yeah, so he goes there a lot. So he's been around. Thank you, K-Mac. Rob sends $5 and says, my Hoss Long to Die in shirt cold just came in today. I'm wearing it to Fenway in 2 weeks. Free Karen Reed. You'll get a lot of comments when you do that. So thank you very much. who was that? Rob. Thanks, Rob. Susan sends $10, says, what was John O'Keefe's blood alcohol 𝗃? I don't know. He's probably shit-faced, though. Mary sends $10, says, if Levy took down the state police CDL guys, let's be patient. We need to wait. I mean, it's different getting guys on a CDL than getting people on a murder in a house where everything's been cleaned up by Brian Albert. You know what I mean? So there's that. Give me one sec. All right. Next up. Levy indicted. Oh, I got that one. Kim sends $10 and says, Higgins said his work phone was more important than his personal phone. Then why destroy it? It's a good question. Because the target knew his number. He had to destroy it, don't you know? And thanks for all you do, Turtle Boy. Thank you, Kim. Mary sends $25, says Levy got the C. Or we already read that one. Why would he drop this? Let's wait. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to drop it, Mary. The CDL licenses. It's just, it might be a dead end. I mean, they could keep going. You just hope that one of these people does the right thing. I got charged with witness intimidation because I said that they should do the right thing and tell the truth. I shit you not if you're new here. I'm being indicted for felony witness intimidation. One of the reasons why is because during a rolling rally that we had, a peaceful protest rolling rally outside of, I believe it was Julie Nagel's house, I said, she should tell the truth. She should tell the truth. And that's, they don't like it when you say that. That's felony witness intimidation now. So there's that. There's that. Okay. Next up, Sally Port sends $10 and says, during the select board meeting tonight, one of the board members made a joke about Hoss Long while Chris Albert was talking and even laughed, and Chris Albert just pretended not to hear it. Here's a link in the exact timestamps to the Young Jerk stream. You can legit see the guys moving saying Hoss Long. Is that true? Let me pull this up. At least you sent it with the exact timestamp. Okay, let me play this. Was that Chris? Oh, he moved. Oh, God. I hate Chris Albert so much.
Bond. All right, here we go. It's a little long, people, so a lot long. Just bear with
what?
Me.
He really said that?
The clerk of the
You're not kidding.
All right, here we go. It's a little long, people, so a lot long. Just bear with
what?
Me. All right. All right.
Hold on.
Of the select board of the town of Canton.
Oh my God.
All right, here we go. It's a little long, people, so a lot long.
Hoss Long, he says that. That's Charles Duty, the town manager. He was the fire chief on the day that John O'Keefe was found dead on that lawn, and all those firefighters responded. His daughter was inside 34 Fairview Road that night, Catherine Duty. Her name was spelt wrong in Michael Proctor's reports. One of 5 names that was spelt wrong. Duty. That's his last name, Duty. Wow. There's no doubt there. He said Hoss Long. He said that shit, man. Like, that's a joke to Charles Duty. Again, one more time. That's wild to me.
All right, here we go. It's a little long, people, so.
Wow.
I, the clerk of the select board of the town of Canton, Massachusetts, the town, certify that a meeting of the board be held on May 28th, 2024, of which meeting all members of the board were duly notified and at which a quorum was present.
Oh my God, is he retarded? This is the best. This dude beat a chick with a PhD from Yale. This is the town of Canton. But yeah, he actually said that. So, all right, cool. Anyway, back to the donos here. Thank you, Sally Port. We got here, Michelle sends $10. Let's just say when they charged Karen with this and defense presented and proved they could plead not guilty with the argument of her being framed, and they proved they could defend the theory with information gathered. You got to keep these short, guys. You got to keep them short. I can't read this whole thing. Like, how's it gotten this far? This trial is humiliating for the Commonwealth and unjust for the O'Keefe family. Agreed. It's absolutely horrible. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Next up, Chris sends $20. Says 2 things. Is any of the gone data retrievable from the clouds? Aidan, my guy, watch Sean McD and your faith in the feds will be restored. Oh, I love Sean on the golf. Sean McDonough. I love watching. I was just talking the other night. how much I love Sean of the Golf streams. They're very positive and uplifting. I love his positivity. I've said that. Listen, 𝗚𝗏𝗃. Listen, 𝗚𝗏𝗃. We got wiretaps on you, 𝗚𝗏𝗃. You're done. You're done, 𝗚𝗏𝗃. Lanka, you're a disgrace, Lanka. You're done. You're done. You don't think we know about the flop house in West Roxbury? You don't think we know about the Gumas? We know everything. We're on your phones, Brian. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're going down. You're going down. So that's my Sean of the Golf impression. But it is very entertaining. But I don't share his optimism anymore. I just don't. I'm glad he's optimistic. I'm glad someone is. I also didn't think the Red Sox weren't going to come back when we were down 3-0, but we did. So things happen. So and some people did believe the Red Sox were going to come back, and we look at them and we're like, oh, good for them. I didn't think Trump was going to win. I didn't think a lot of shit was going to happen that ended up happening, but here we are. Okay. Next up, Sally Port sends 10. Oh, we already got that one. Julio sends $10 as Caesar. Fuck that Brian Higgins pinhead. Larry looking fuck. He should have thrown his badge over that military base instead for someone with some real integrity. Absolutely. Hey, Jenna sends $5 and says 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is an informant for the special prosecutor that's pressing charges against you. She is not your friend. Remove your head from your ass. Yeah, but at this point, and it says to Hey John, it's like what if she wants me to go to jail? That's what she said in the tweet, right? Like Jenna Rocco said that in her tweet last night, that I deserve to be locked up, she said. So like she agrees with the witness intimidation charges, and then she befriended 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Like that's what she said. And she said it again today. She sent me a text. She sent me a message shortly before I went on this air here, literally threatening to send me back. She goes, "You're on bail, so be careful," basically what you're saying. Like she's like, Jenna Rocco's threatening to send me back to jail. So yeah, but I don't want to start drama. It's just some chick trying to send me back to jail. But yeah, she's cool. She's cool. You could trust her. You could totally trust her. Not a grifter at all. Anyway, thank you for that one. And if you don't think I have receipts, this is what I do. But, I don't want to, I saw people in the comments that you should not talk about it. It's drama. Me going to jail isn't drama. It sucks in jail. It sucks. And when hundreds of thousands of dollars are funneling through the hands of two people, I think a little transparency is in order. And when you bring up this transparency and you try to get a little more transparency in a Facebook group with that sort of reach, with that sort of money going through, and the answer is to kick you out of the group that's named after you, I think that's a little bit shady. I don't think that's drama. But again, we don't have to get into all that tonight. We can get into that another time. If they want to go there, we can get into that. Anyway, back to this. Oh yeah, and we could talk about the Canton 9 situation too, and where that money went. We could talk all about that. You don't think I got receipts? You don't think I got screenshots? Come on. And Sean in the Golf was right about them. He warned me. He was right. So anyway, let's get back to this. Okay. Samantha sends $5. Says your song is not gay. It is great. Well, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate that. It's not my song. Well, this is an odd number. Maria sends $138 and says, thank you, Dr. Turtle. Let's go. Thank you very much. No, that's the right decimal. I thought it was 138. Thank you, Maria. Very, very generous of you. Sean sends $15. Says, I was driving through Canton last week and saw Jill Daniels on the side of the road. I asked her if she had awards like 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. She didn't respond. Then I realized I was arguing with a busted leather bead bag that someone was throwing out. Stop it. Okay. Okay. Next thing. That's good. Okay. Do we have any more turtle chats here? No, we got a couple cash apps though. Let's see. What do we got for cash app? Lori sends $5. No comment. Thank you, Lori. Ryan sends $5. Says Turtle Riders will end up at whatever page you run. Yeah, I know they would, but I just don't want to start over. It's like, it's my page, and I'm not making a third page. You know, it's like that page was my idea. I literally made that page. It's named after me. I was taken off as an admin when I was in jail. So I lost control of the page in jail. And now it's like I have to kiss Nick Rocco's ass to stay in the group, to stay as an admin. I mean, I'll tell. It's like, this is what he told me today. It was crazy. It was really mean. It was like, what was it? It said, let's see. Hold on. It says, what does this say? You either leave the page. So I wanted to add some admins to the group, a little oversight, considering all the money coming through it. It says you either leave the page the way it was and was working, or you can leave. This is what I was told today. I can leave my page. What? Okay. All right. So there's that. Anyway. Anyway, that's just odd to me, but I don't want to do drama. Oh, do we have any more Cash Apps here? So thank you very much for that, Cash App, Ryan. And we have another one here from Jamie. Sends $5 and says, my theory, it was really John O'Keefe texting Brian Higgins from Karen Reed's phone. Thank you very much. Wouldn't that be something? Thank you. Deanna sends $10 and says, for to be clear, Yannetti can finish me off too. Stop it, Dan. I know it. I bet he has already, Deanna. I bet he has. Thank you. Not just in your mind, of course, not like in really, because you wouldn't do that. Okay. All right. So there's that. If anyone else wants to donate, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, and or you can click at or cash at me $1 @UncleTurtleBoy. I can't boot them, Wendy. They took over the group when I was in jail. I got booted. Now he's the captain now. I have to kind of kiss his ass if I want to stay in my own group. I have to be nice to him. Like, it's bizarre. Anyway, let's get back to this. So let's get back to what happened today in court. So anyway, then we had a couple doctors come up. Where'd this go? All right. So then we had a couple doctors, and it was horrible. So we had this guy go, Justin Rice. Okay. Nothing really significant came out of his testimony, except he says that the dog bites on John's arms are scratches. He said that. So that's good. So we knew that. They're not road rash. They didn't come from grass. There's that. Okay. So that's one thing that's all we learned from him. Then this fucking guy, after the lunch break, this guy, oh my God. It's not his fault. He didn't sign up to be a public speaker. He wanted to become a doctor. And this was Lally talking to Lally. I'll play 30 seconds of this if you missed this.
Would that be abnormal, though, as far as doing a blood draw and testing for alcohol and someone presenting on section?
I don't think so, no.
Now, with regard to a blood draw in Good Samaritan Hospital with reference to testing for alcohol specifically, what, if any, sort of policies or protocols are in place in reference to that type of blood draw?
I think a test for blood alcohol is the phlebotomist pretty much has to run through the same protocol that he or she needs to follow.
It's literally Lally talking to Lally. I couldn't listen to this guy. No offense, sir. If you're listening, it's not your fault. You didn't sign up to be a public speaker. This is clearly not your thing. But like I said, it was like, listen, like I taught history before, United States history, and I was really animated when I taught, as you can imagine. And it was because you had to be, because it's hard to keep 16-year-olds engaged. They're not interesting people. And they're really thinking about other shit, booze, chicks, football, that kind of stuff. cheerleading, who knows? And you had to be like, to make United States history interesting, you got to be animated and really keep their attention. Adam Lally wouldn't last 5 seconds as a teacher, and neither would this guy, right? But at least this guy's probably good at being a doctor. Lally sucks at being a prosecutor. And the jury, which is, I compared the jury to like an AP class. Like Adam Lally is the shitty teacher that got the AP students because they were actually listening. As painful as this was, they listened to the whole thing for the most part. They weren't as taking notes as much as they were for other stuff and as into this. You could tell they were bored as shit, but they were being polite. And, you know, like, come on. Adam Lally just bored the shit out of this class. And I'm like, if I had students like this, it would be great. They were like the AP students. They were good students, the jurors. This is a good jury. Karen Reed is in great hands. She'll never be found guilty because this jury looks smart. They are, and I've seen them now like 6 or 7 times. These are smart people. These are people who are taking their jobs as jurors quite seriously. And did you know that they don't even know who the 12 are? I did not know that. I learned that today. There's 17 of them, and they don't know which 12 will be the ones that decide her fate. They don't find that out till later. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So that forces all 17 of them to keep on their toes. Because if you're number 17, you're like, I ain't going to get picked anyway, so I'll doze off for this one. No, they don't. They don't. Okay. All right. So anyway, so that guy sucks. We're going to skip that. This guy's boring as shit. So then this guy gets called. I didn't really listen to him that much. He talked about the blood alcohol level and the testing and lies a little, you know, got him to admit some good shit. But I don't really care because this isn't a drunken driving case. And it doesn't matter if Kearney was drunk or not, because Kearney didn't run him over. They were all drunk that night. It doesn't matter if Kearney is drunk. I don't care. So I don't really care about what this guy's testimony was at all. He seemed like a nice guy. Don't care about anything he has to say. Okay. So then, but I do care about this gentleman. Michael Trotta. You got, so Mike, so I had some, let me pull up this. If you guys don't know who Michael Trotta is, you're best going to learn today. All right. So let me pull this up. So, I knew for a while that Fairview Road had been plowed the night of, or the morning of January 29th, 2022. And that's huge because a plow driver is going to be able to testify whether or not the body's there, right? But the problem is that Michael Proctor's police report says otherwise. Do I have this here? Okay. So this is part 94 of the Canton Cover-Up series. And this is Michael Proctor's report from February 3rd, in which he interviews Michael Trotta. On February 23rd, I conducted an interview with Michael Trotta, an employee of the town of Canton. He runs the DPW. Michael assists with coordinating plow and sanding trucks during storms. He stated that Canton uses town equipment to treat the roads with the exception of one company. So that in and of itself, I later found out is untrue. They do bids with lots of companies. So the town of Canton has their own DPW do the roads. They plow all the roads. I found this out. And then they have a second company that comes in and kind of finishes them off, right? That's what she said. Kind of comes in and finishes them off. And they have lots of different small, you know, mom and pop plow people that come in and bid for the contracts, and they can come in and do that. So they get, you know, you get your money's worth. They must plow the roads good in Canton. And so, but the first people that come through are the DPW folks. Now, Proctor's report says that Michael stated that Canton uses town equipment to treat the roads with the exception of one company. He stated a company called By the Yard is used to assist with plowing the roadways. We'll get to them. Michael stated that drivers met at Boulevard Street at 2:30 a.m. on January 29th and left there to clear the roadways. The company by the yard was not called in until 3:30 that morning. Michael stated that trucks were out sanding earlier, but only concentrate on major roadways in Canton and would not travel down Fairview Road. He said all town trucks are equipped with GPS, but the system went down on January 24th, 2022. So, like, you know, that's, according to him, the town of Canton, according to this report, Michael Proctor's report says that Michael Trotta told him that the town of Canton DPW drivers would not plow Fairview Road, right? I find out that there is a driver by the name of Brian 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Loughran, whose brother is on the town of Board of Selectmen. He's actually the guy that just finished in second place and barely beat out Rita. We love Rita. But his brother is on the select board. And so Lucky is like a townie. I've talked to him before. He seems like a real decent guy. But a guy who loves his job, like has been doing this for 18 years, he says, and definitely made it clear that he wanted to help. And so I get his number because I'm like, wait a minute, they never cleared the road. I'm like, the town. And so it says right here, the town of Canton would not plow Fairview Road. I hear otherwise. So I find the driver, 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Loughran. And while I was on vacation in Truro, I called him up on like, by getting back into work, the swing of things. I called him up on a whim. I got his number from someone and I said, hey, is this Lucky? Yeah. Oh, hey, it's Aidan Kearney from Turtle Boy. Usually I hear click. Nope. He wanted to talk. So yeah. So did you plow the roads that night? And we just talked for 5 minutes and I got the exclusive interview. Right. And he told me that he did plow Fairview Road that night. He went by Brian Albert's house at 2:30, his first plow through. And I said, well, that's great. Did you see a body on the front lawn? Did you see a man named John O'Keefe lying on the front lawn? No, he said. Okay. Well, what if a body was there, would you have seen it? Because the McAlberts love to say, oh, we just didn't see it, but it was probably there. So I said, would you have seen a body if it was there? And he goes, oh yeah, definitely 100%. How can you be so sure, Mr. Loughran? Well, I drove by there. You know, I sit up high. I look from side to side and I have my brights on and it's near a fire thing too, that you take extra caution around those. So there you go. He was insistent on it. I said, you see anything else? Yeah, I came to do a second time through around 3 o'clock, he tells me. And did you see anything that time? Like a dead body? No, but I did see a Ford Edge parked right where John's body was discovered at 3 o'clock. Or at 3 o'clock, I saw right where John's body was later discovered. I saw the Ford Edge parked there. I said, did you come back? Yeah, I came back half an hour later. I think you said hour later. Ford Edge was still there. Well, that's crazy. So there's no body there at 2:30. Then a Ford Edge appears. Then a body appears. I put this story out and it's like, holy shit. This completely exonerates Karen Reed, just like everything else has. State police read this. But Lucky told me one other thing that was really interesting. He told me that the FBI came to him already and asked him the same thing. And so did Karen Reed's PI. Karen Reed's PI got to him first in February or March of 2022. And then the FBI got to him in April or May of 2023. So the FBI found 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Loughran and they asked him the same question. So they were interested. So I'm like, whoa, FBI. So I put this in my report. Next thing you know, who shows up and decides to interview 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Loughran for the first time? Michael Proctor and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 show up for the first time on August 9th. I published the story August 8th, 2023. On August 9th, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Proctor suddenly decide this guy's worthy of an interview. Why didn't they find this guy to begin with? Why did it take 18 months to find 𝗥𝗏𝗏𝗏 Loughran? And why are they interviewing him now of all times? Because They knew that 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 didn't see a body. So they don't want him on the record. So instead, Michael Proctor lies in his report and says Michael Trotta told him that the town of Canton doesn't get those roads. Michael Trotta said otherwise today on the stand. So Michael Trotta completely contradicts this testimony. And so why do they track 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 down? Not that they want to find this Ford Edge. That's why I yelled when I got arrested out of the car. I got out of the cop car, and the first thing I yelled, hope they find that Ford Edge. They find that Ford Edge yet? Because this is like 2 months later. They still haven't done anything to find out who's driving this Ford Edge. When I went up to 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗏 on September 15th outside of court, I went up to him and I called him 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗏 loser. And I'm like, because he wouldn't answer my question. Have you found who's driving that Ford Edge yet, Mr. 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗏? Nope. He had nothing to say. He gave me the finger and brandished his gun like a tough guy. So, yeah. Anyway, the by the yard aspect. So so they interview him and I broke down their whole interview. It's fucked up. All they talk to 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 about is maybe you hit something, you know? Did you hit anything else? Maybe you're a bad driver. Maybe you saw something. And he holds the line. He's like, nope. Just you motherfuckers. Just you shady motherfuckers. And then on top of that, they also kind of suggest to him, did 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗺 tape you? Did 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗺 record you? Maybe he wiretapped you. And that's when I realized that these motherfuckers were gunning for me, that I was too effective in exposing them. And by August, that's when they were like, we need to get this guy on something. We need to charge him with something. 2 months later, boom, they show up in my house with a search warrant and an arrest warrant, and the fugitive unit takes me away. So 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 will be testifying with the defense. He's on the prosecution's list. I wouldn't recommend bringing him in if I'm them. I also wouldn't bring Michael Trotta in because his testimony today was favorable to the and well, we didn't even talk about By the Yard. By the Yard, in case you're wondering, was a company that didn't exist until April 25th, 2023. 2 weeks after Colin Albert received the summons to testify in front of the federal grand jury. Okay. It's owned by a guy named Calvin Seaman. Calvin Seaman. There you see. April 25th, 2023. And Calvin Seaman is the uncle of Danielle Seaman, who is good buddies with Colin Albert and Ally McCabe and runs in the same and Danielle Seaman was with Ally McCabe that night too. So there's that. And who uncovered this all? 𝗕𝗏𝗵𝗺. And what did I get for my journalism in exposing this to the world? 19 felonies, and I got kicked out of a Facebook group. That's what I got from my hard work. So there's that. But let's listen to, I want to play a little of my interview with Mr. Trotta when I went down to the Canton DPW. Now, keep in mind, I went down the first time and they said Trotta wasn't there. And that's when I infamously said, I'll be back. You guys don't think I'll be back? I'll pitch a tent here. You haven't seen the last of me. They have now taken that audio and said it's witness intimidation because they said I'm threatening the McAlberts with that. Even though I'm not talking about the McAlberts, I'm talking about Michael Trotta, actually, and saying, I'll be back. I'm going to keep, investigating it. And so I did come back and I did find Michael Trotta and I did I did interview him. And I mean, these are some...
How to kill all mosquitoes in the area in just minutes. This simple but brilliant trick you can do tonight to eliminate...
Oh, God, Rumble.
Drinking coffee every day didn't work for me, but I couldn't figure out why until I went from 180...
Because you're an asshole.
On track, yes, sir.
Okay, so there's a company called By the Yard that plows the roads?
Yeah.
Okay, and what roads do they plow?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't assign those.
Would they plow Fairview Road?
I believe they are down that section, yes.
Okay, so is there any reason that Brian Loughran would have been plowing that road at 2:30 in the morning?
we generally have two people on every route. So there's usually a town plow with a contract plow.
Okay.
Oh, so there you go. You heard it from, I figured this out. There it is right there. Dude tells me straight up, yeah, the town of Canton gets the street and then the by the yard gets it. They kind of clean up. The people we subcontract in, they come in and they kind of clean up the mess. But the town gets it first, and 𝗥𝗏𝗏𝗺 works for the town. But he says in his report, Michael Proctor says in his report that Michael Trotta told him otherwise, didn't he? So this is where we get to today. There he is. There's Michael Trotta. There he is.
Now, with reference to that trooper, is that someone that you knew or you had spoken to before in any way?
No.
And prior to that day, did you know about John O'Keefe or Karen Reed or anybody?
No.
And as far as anybody within an Albert family within the town of Canton, were you familiar with them? Did you know them at the time?
No.
Now, when you were contacted in that early February of 2022, with regard to the blizzard the week before, what if anything was drafted?
Right.
What kind of information were they with?
He wanted to know what the procedure was when we prepare and staff a snowstorm.
And if you could explain to the jury sort of what is the procedure, or what at that time, what was the procedure? And
oh my God.
Works people come in at a scheduled time.
And so there'd be about, and correct me if I'm wrong, there'd be about 30 some odd trucks that were sort of DPW trucks.
Oh my God.
4x6, which is instructed to plow the middle of the road, keep the middle of the road open. And as they make their way through the route, they're supposed to push back a little bit. If they try to clean a whole lane and then come back and do the lane again, generally they end up being in trouble and they can't keep up if it's a heavy snow. So they're instructed to plow the middle of the road to keep the roads.
10 days of the big snowstorm, correct?
Yes.
You knew that he was investigating the death of John O'Keefe, which had occurred on January 29th, correct?
I did not know that.
Have you heard that there was a police officer who was found dead on the lawn of another police officer in Canton?
Well, I knew, yes, I knew.
It's fairly big news at the time, correct?
Yeah.
And were you aware that that was why Michael Proctor was calling you, related to that investigation?
After he called and identified himself, he said that is why he was calling.
Of course. Now, you spoke with him over the phone only, correct?
Yes.
He never came down to the DPW to meet you in person, correct?
Not me, no.
And he never asked to interview any of your employees, correct?
We may have discussed who was on that route and who plowed, but I'm not sure at that time if he had told me he was going to go talk to anybody else.
Oh,
we may have discussed who was on that route and who plowed, but he didn't put that in his report, did he? He says in his report that you told him that the town of Canton doesn't plow that road. And he certainly didn't mention who the employee was who plowed the road. He didn't mention any of that because he didn't want to meet Brian Lucky Loughran. He wanted to ignore it. He wanted to ignore it.
So it's your testimony that you may have told him the identity of the plow driver when you spoke with him on February 3rd over the phone.
I may have, but I am not positive.
You don't have a memory of him asking you who the plow driver was?
He asked, no, I don't have a memory of his exact questions.
But leaving aside the exact wording of his questions, it's fair to say you don't have a memory of him asking you who plowed Fairview Road on January 29th. Is that fair to say?
He asked me about, I believe he asked me about this plow list.
About the what? The plow list?
This plow list.
Right, but on the plow list, there's the name by the yard, correct?
Oh, by the
Yes.
yard, yeah. Calvin.
There's also, to the left of that, an indication of the name of the plow driver, and it's just a first name and a last initial,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
It doesn't spell out the whole last name, does it?
No.
But you know the full last name, correct?
Yes.
You have a limited number of employees, right? It's not a 1,000-person company, right?
Yes.
All right. And you're well familiar that Brian L. is Brian Loughran, right?
Yes.
As you sit here today, do you have any memory of whether the name Brian Loughran was brought up during that phone call with Michael Proctor?
I may have said to him that's who BL was, but I did refer, I believe I referred him to the operations manager to double check who was on plowing that day.
Okay. You say you may have mentioned the name Brian L. or Brian Loughran, but again, I'm just trying to drill down on what your memory is. Do you have a memory one way or the other as to whether the name Brian Loughran came up in that conversation?
If you are asking me, do I remember 100%? No.
Okay. In any case,
you get the point here. You get the point here. And I hope this resonates with the jury. They'll all tie it up in a bow. at the end. Once they call Lucky, like it'll all start making sense to this jury. The bottom line here is like fucking shady. And I'm told today by sources within the Reed camp, no names who, right? I asked them today, when is Proctor going? Answer, they tell me that the plan is not to have Proctor called as a witness, which is fucking wild to me because he's the lead detective in a murder investigation and the prosecution is not planning on calling him. I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that before. But the defense will. They say he's going to be one of the first witnesses for the defense, which is wild, which is absolutely freaking wild. Okay, last guy we're going to get to here is Louis Jutris. And then we'll read turtle chats. So if you want to have your turtle chat read, send it to me. Okay. So Jutris, this was Richie's idea, actually. Great guy. Speaking of loyal, surround yourself with people like Richie, camera guy Richie. One of the most loyal people he ever met. Just wants to help out and has his priorities straight. Great guy. Trust him 1,000%. Okay. And Richie came up with the idea. He goes, you know who we need to talk to? The town IT director. I said, why? He goes, the Canton Library video. Because the Canton Library had surveillance, a perfect picture of the center of town where Karen Reed would have gone through during her midnight ride and would have shown whether or not the back of her car had a broken taillight or not. If it had a broken taillight, then at 12:38 when she went by there, then she might have hit something prior to that. Maybe John O'Keefe, something like that. If the taillight is intact at that time, then it doesn't look like she's hit anything yet, does it? And maybe she broke it later on at 5:07 when she backed out of the house at 1 Meadows Ave and hit John's Chevy Traverse. Maybe that happened. But unfortunately, when the town handed over this thing, this file to the state police burned it onto a CD, so for some reason, and gave one to the defense and one to the Commonwealth. And the defense looks at the tape and it's like 2 minutes are missing from 12:37 to 12:39. They're just gone. Which happens to be the exact time that the town that Kearney would have driven by there. The exact time. What are the odds of that? Those 2 minutes exclusively are missing, just like the 42 minutes from the Sallyport, Canton Police Sallyport garage surveillance video are missing at the exact time when Karen Reed's car was towed to the Sallyport. Like that's missing too. And so I decide, Richie's like, you need to go and interview this guy, Poindexter, Louis Jutris. And he probably isn't used to being interviewed a lot because he's the IT director for a town called Canton. And he never thought the day would come when Turtle Boy shows up in his office and starts asking questions about the Canton Library tape. Because I just want to know. I don't think this guy's shady at all. But what I want to know for him is, when you handed over the tape to Michael Proctor and the state police, was there 2 minutes missing? When did these 2 minutes go missing? I'm trying to find the weak link in the chain here. But this should, and so let's see. Do I have this? No, that's the boys regular. Did I have this part?
Can leave the message.
No, that's not it. 1 minute. Here it is. All right.
It'll just take Kearney. Hi, we're looking for Mr. Jutris.
That's me.
My name's Aidan Kearney. I'm a reporter from Turtle Boy Daily News. Do you have a minute?
I have a meeting now, and then I have to do a fire at 12:30. So today is kind of.
It'll just take two seconds. I just have a quick question. When you sent the video footage from the Canton Public Library to the state police, how did they access the video?
That was done in 2 different formats.
And
file link and we sent out physical file.
Is there any way the public could get access to that?
I would have have to check with counsel and others on that one. And I don't have it.
Okay, because there's a couple minutes missing. I believe there's 3 minutes missing from that video. When you guys sent it over to them, were there 3 minutes missing?
I can't answer that.
You can't answer. How come?
We're talking an item that's over a year plus behind.
Yeah.
And I don't have a copy of the video to replay on my own to validate.
Is it erased? Is it erased at this point?
Yeah.
It is? Okay. And why was it erased?
Because there's a set retention schedule on voices. And
Okay.
So it's gone.
Even in a murder investigation?
Again, I was asked for a copy of something, file was prepared, sent through, nothing else came back after to do anything else on our side with it.
Okay.
So he's asked for a file of something, asked for the video file. He sends it over in some sort of digital format, not on a CD, and sends it over. This guy's not lying. This guy's telling the truth. What the fuck does this guy have to hide? He's like doing his job. He goes home and eats his cheese sandwich. He collects his $80,000 a year, and he's happy with life. He's content. You know, he goes home to his mediocre wife. He loves it. She's great. She's a great person, though, right? Great person. He's happy. This guy's got a happy life. He's not going to throw it away and join some conspiracy. He's just doing his job. Now, did he watch the whole video to know if 2 minutes was missing? Fuck no. Why would he do that? They go, give us the Canton library file. And he's like, okay. Send. Okay, now you got the whole file. It's not like he sat there and watched it. What the fuck's he going to watch surveillance video from my library for? So he doesn't know the answer to my question. He has no fucking clue if 2 minutes are missing. This is the most excitement he's ever had on the job. And he acts like he's too busy for it. He's like, I'm a little busy here. Can't you see? Got to clean my office. So, you know, he's just like, I don't know. I didn't sign up for this to answer these questions. It's not my fault that I sent a file over. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. It's like, this guy's not, I want to make it very clear. This guy's not in on anything.
So, but when you did send it over, you have no reason to believe there would be 3 minutes missing, right? Okay. Did you happen to view the footage by any chance? Did you notice if Karen Reed's Lexus had a missing or a broken tail light?
I can't answer that. I don't have video in front of me.
Okay.
I think it was something from years ago. You said you had one question to ask.
Okay, I appreciate. I do appreciate your time. It's just, you know, a man was killed in this town, and it's pretty apparent there's a cover-up. So.
I don't have anything else to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, he didn't see shit. Doesn't know anything. So he testifies today, and I'm like, okay, good. These are cool, good witnesses to end it. Because I don't know if the jury understood how important this Canton library missing footage is, but I'm sure it'll all be tied in at the end. So they bring Jutris up, and he gets there.
To security systems, things of that nature?
Yes.
Now, with reference to your department, how many people work in your department?
There's 3 of us in total, myself and 2 others.
Do you essentially supervise the other 2 people as well?
Yes.
Me and Charlie.
Describe to the jury sort of what kind of location that is, or what kind of town property it is, and where it is in relation to the town.
Oh my God.
Exterior doorbell, things like that. But all the actual recording units are the same manufacturer, just different sizes and models.
Days, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, because we're talking February 7th for the last request.
And by the way, this guy and Trotta today were just so excited that, like, it's just like the firefighter guy that loved that he has got a captive audience of millions. He's been waiting his whole life for this. And now they have to listen to me talk about plowing roads, or the type of sand we use, or how we get footage off of video cameras from the library. And this, now the whole world has to listen to me. This is like the great, he's like, nobody ever wants to hear me talk about my job. And now everybody has to listen to me talk about my job. What a great day for this guy.
Now, as far as the video that you exported, well, let me ask you this. As far as when you were asked to retrieve that video, can you explain sort of mechanically the process, how you got that video and how you delivered that?
Yeah, so specifically for the town and the library one, that again, time frame provided, using the manufacturer's software product, doing the search, picking the cameras that are facing the Washington Street side, and then having the time frame and exporting that out. That becomes
the ambit of your duties and responsibilities would include GPS on town trucks, right?
I'll be right back.
Yes, Public Works has a setup via their radios for GPS information.
And so with regard to that, specifically the DBW trucks, what, if any, information did you receive from anyone at the DPW in relation to those GPS devices within the trucks shortly after the snowstorm from the 28th and the 29th of January?
Yep. So on February 1st, I received notification from the operations manager that the GPS information was not working.
And so you received information after the snowstorm that it wasn't working during the snowstorm, is that correct?
Correct.
And as far as that, as far as GPS sort of going down in the DPW trucks, is that abnormal, or how often would that occur?
Yes, it happens several times throughout the year for various reasons. They have a radio repeater. It's connected through a network. It runs software on a server that we have in-house. Server's rebooted, network goes down, things that change for various reasons, and we need to reestablish connection to whatever recorder it is for that repeater, and then the information is then picked up.
Now, taking you back to the Canton Public Library video that you provided to the trooper, were you told anything about sort of any type of vehicle or anything to be looking for within that particular video timeframe that they were asking about?
Not that I recall.
Did you recall ever actually watching the video yourself as far as confirming sort of what it was?
Yes, I mean, I watched it from the time frame to see that we had information, watched it just to move forward to the end to make sure there was information, and when the recording was physically available. But what was in it, no.
May I approach?
Yes.
I'm telling you, 𝗫𝗫𝗄𝗃 just asked you to, as far as that video from the Canton Public Library, you've seen that video subsequently, is that correct?
This disc with the wording on it?
Yes.
No, I have not seen this.
Not that specific disc, I'm sorry. So, but the footage, have you shown that particular video footage, or did you review that footage before you gave it to the troopers?
This is not mine to the trooper.
Oh, there it is. I love this part.
Okay.
This is not mine. So he gives him the CD. Sorry, I was taking a leak real quick. He hands him the CD, and what does he say?
I'm telling you, 𝗫𝗫𝗄𝗃 just asked you to, as far as that video from the Canton Public Library, you've seen that video subsequently, is that correct?
This disc with the wording on it?
Yes.
No, I have not seen this.
Not that specific disc, I'm sorry. So, but the footage, have you shown that particular video footage, or did you review that footage before you gave it to the troopers?
So what disc is
this? This is not mine to the trooper.
Okay.
That was a great moment. Like, this was an underrated moment from the day. He's like, I didn't give him a CD-ROM. See what happened here? He gave him a digital file, and then they took that file and put it onto a CD. They did that. So somehow in that process, 2 minutes has disappeared. And he's like, I did not give them this CD. He's like, you ain't going to put this shit on me. I didn't make the 2 minutes disappear. He knows what's going on. Give it to him, Jutris. Give it to him. That ain't your shit. That ain't your shit. You conniving fucks.
Yeah, so Town Hall is right across the street, and the intersection here is at Sherman, and this is Washington along the street that you'll see.
So Washington sort of runs parallel with the street. And
By the way, this is, that's Karen's. No, that's not Karen's. What time is this?
Sherman is the street.
So this is 12 o'clock midnight. And notice that there's no snow on the lawn at all. Look at this. They want us to believe that John O'Keefe, 30 minutes later, was knocked onto a green lawn at Brian Albert's house, and no one saw it because he was covered in snow. No one saw his body lying there with this. This is what it actually looked like at that time. Okay. And again, Karen's car would have gone right through here, and you would have gotten a perfect picture of the right taillight and whether or not it was intact or not.
Washington.
Correct.
In the area of the town.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
You pulled that video footage, or at least arranged, correct?
Yes, sir.
You pulled that video footage, or at least arranged for it to be pulled for the state police, correct?
Yes.
And I believe your testimony was that you checked the beginning time and the ending time to make sure that you had the right time periods for those 2 hours, correct?
Yes.
But you did not sit down and watch 1 hour of snow falling and or cars driving by the public library, correct?
That is correct.
Did you do that for between 12 and 1 or between 5 and 6?
Correct, I did not.
And at the time that you provided the video footage to the state police, did you know whether or not there was any missing footage within those 2 hours?
No, because again, I did not play every single second of the video.
Understood. It's fair to say, and you're certain, that you did not cut out any of the video footage in those 2 time periods, correct?
Correct. It's motion activated. That's the only piece.
You provided the state police with the raw footage as it existed in your possession at that time, correct?
Yes.
And at that time, you knew that the raw footage was only saved for between 30 and 60 days?
That one is less than 30, yes.
Right. Now, as of early February, when you were dealing with the state police, you knew that Karen Reed had been arrested and charged in court, correct?
I do not recall if I had that information.
you knew that there had been a police officer found dead on the lawn of another police officer in Canton?
At that time in February, I believe so.
And that likely would have been discussed when the state police called you?
I do not recall the conversation other than asking for video footage for Washington Street.
And I'm sorry, sir, if you could just keep your, if I can't hear you, I guarantee you that these last jurors can't hear you. Could you repeat that last question?
Yep. Again, when in the conversation with it, we had the dates and the timeframes, and anything else relative to it, I do not recall specifically the conversation.
Okay. So you don't have a memory of why you were being asked for this?
Correct. I know it was for a motor vehicle accident. Who and what, I do not recall if that was ever.
Footage onto some hard drive to preserve it, if you wanted to do that?
Yes.
Did any state trooper ever ask you to download and preserve that footage so that it would exist longer than that 30 to 60 day period?
No.
And so it's fair to say you did not do that, correct?
Correct.
You complied with what they asked you to do?
Yes.
Now, skipping ahead to April 6th of 2023, you were contacted by Michael Proctor, a state trooper investigating this matter, correct?
I do not recall.
Do you recall Michael Proctor asking you to provide to the defense in this case the same raw footage you had previously provided to the state police?
No.
No. And you don't recall telling him that you couldn't do that because after 30 to 60 days, footage is gone, correct?
I had a phone call with what I thought was Trooper Dunn asking for another copy of the data and telling him that I did not have it and I couldn't recreate it.
I see. So you
if it was Proctor, but no, I thought I was speaking with Trooper Dunn.
Trooper Dunn was the name that you remembered from February.
Correct. That was the first interaction I had.
And when they mentioned state police, you assumed it was the same state police trooper, correct?
Yes.
It's fair to say that once you shared the footage with the state police in February of 2022, you didn't control what they did with it after that, correct?
Correct.
And you have no personal knowledge about how they preserved it or didn't preserve it, correct?
I'll allow it. Do you have any idea?
No.
You guys get the point here. You guys get the point. You know, he's hammered at home. So you gave him footage. You didn't look at that footage. You assume all the footage is there. Then it ends up on a CD. And you're like, what the fuck is this thing? I didn't give him a CD. And 2 minutes is missing. It happens to be the 2 minutes at the most critical time in which a footage would show whether or not Kara Reed's taillight was intact, which would prove, you know, whether or not the car, you know, the taillight was broken at 12:38 a.m. And if it wasn't broken at 12:38 a.m., then it didn't break while she hit John O'Keefe at 12:30 a.m. Okay. End of story. End of story. So that's that. Okay, cool. So yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do a special show about my charges for the new people here. I'm going to do a special show going over why I'm being charged with witness intimidation. Because a lot of you guys are new here and you keep hearing, oh, Turtle, whatever I mentioned, any of this, oh, Turtle Boy, he's done, you know, they don't ever talk about my award-winning journalism. They don't talk about how I tracked down 𝗥𝗏𝗄𝗏 and did an interview with Michael Trotta or did an interview with Louis Jutris or, you know, found out that Michael Proctor's house was visited by 𝗃𝗵𝗂𝗃𝗏 on September 25th. They don't do any of that. All they ever mention is, oh, he's got a bunch of witness intimidation charges. Yeah, that they always mention that. So tomorrow, if you're new, you're probably like, what the fuck? It takes a while to explain. So tomorrow I'm going to do a special show on why I'm being charged with witness intimidation. It's not a Turtle Club thing. It's a show. So tune in tomorrow because I want to show everybody this shit. Okay, cool. Let me read some Turtle chats if we have any here now before we call it a night. Where'd they go? Okay. Got a few to bang out here. I'm going to go through these as quick as possible. $5 from Luca from Malden says, what up, Turtle Boy? I don't know who the Roccos are, but they sound like some mortadellas that are riding your coattail for clout. They should be the ones that gracefully bow out of the Facebook group. There could only be one turtle. Again, I could get into that. It's just odd. I will say it this way. So there was some messages, screenshots of messages that were sent to me from like an admins group that I'm being left out of. It's like a Mean Girls thing. It's like admins minus Turtle Boy, the one where they just say mean things about you. And those screenshots were sent to me, and maybe I'll share them with you guys. I don't know. It was really hurtful shit. They're like, they're telling me, they're saying, is he on drugs? Yeah, he's probably on drugs. He looks like he's on drugs. You know, why is he demanding accountability? Oh my God, he must be on drugs. It's like, what the fuck? And also saying things like really hurtful shit, man, that I chase trashy pussy. That's what they said. He chases trashy pussy. And I'm like, so my question is, and I asked them, if you don't like me, which it's fine, you're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to like me. I don't care. It's not a big deal. You're entitled to your opinion. But my question is, why do you want to be an admin of a Turtle Boy Facebook pic group? That's the part I don't get. You don't like me. And then it hit me. Oh, right. Oh, right. because of the reach. That's all, the platform. It's just more people. This is the story of my life with Turtle Boy. I create this big platform, and then other people like 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝘂, and they're doing exactly what 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝘂 did, jumping in, building their own brand within the brand, and then saying, see ya. Like, that's what they're just using it for clout. It's the same thing, because I go, well, if you don't like me, based on these messages I just read, you clearly don't like me. So why not just go make your own group? I mean, nothing's stopping you from doing that. Just go make your own group. But then if they made their own group, who would join it? They need the Turtle Boy brand. It says Turtle Boy official. They like that. They're like, oh, this is the Turtle Boy page. So people join it because people have fucking heard Turtle Boy before. And it's just like, so that's why. And so it's just like, come on. Like, if you don't like me, then I don't get that. It's like, you don't have to like me. But why would you want to admin a Turtle Boy page if you don't like me? That's the part I don't get. So, but I think we all know the answer to that. Clout. You can't have, it's like they don't like me, but they like my platform. They like the platform a lot, don't they? And, oh, we can get a court TV this way. And, we can get famous this way. So this is all done. Then we have our own thing to go on. So there's that. Anyway, thank you, Luca. $5 from Mary says, did you hear Chris Albert became clerk of select board tonight? And Mike Loughran is now the chair. I did hear that. That's too bad, Mary. Thank you. DW sends 25 and says, watch the last speaker at the Canton select board meeting. I know I got to watch it later. We could be here all night. If we do that. So next up, Audrey sends $10, says people are disgusting. 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝘂, the fake victim, and now the Roccos. They wouldn't be where they are without you. Keep up the great work. Again, I didn't want to do this. It's like, I'm not doing it. I'm kind of being for, it's just like people keep asking me. There was like all over 𝗵𝗵 streamed it. I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit. There's like mean tweets about me, calling me, saying I deserve to be locked up. And now they're associating with 𝗺ście 𝗵𝗂𝗧𝘂 and going on 𝗵𝗵 and saying horrible shit about me. And it's just like, people keep asking, I'm just like, okay, sorry. I didn't want to do this, but the fuck, well, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to talk privately. I said in a text, let's not make a big deal out of this. Let's talk privately, quietly about this. And they want it this way. I don't understand it. It's boggling my mind. I don't know. I did not want this, to be very clear. So thank you very much, Audrey. Lily sends $5, says, love your work, Turtle Boy. Thanks for keeping it real. # free Karen Reed. Thank you, Lily. Kim sends $10, says, if people don't believe in corrupt police, watch Trial 4 on Netflix. Proves the BPD are corrupt. Keep up the great work. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing. There was, at least they found a gun for Sean Ellis. Like, it might have been planted, but there was like a shitload more evidence against Sean Ellis, who I believe is not guilty, than there ever was against Karen Reed, who is just like a joke. Give me a break. But he got let out of jail after 20 years, and 2 mistrials, and before a third felony for conviction of murder. He got let out of jail based on police misconduct, and it's the same thing here. So there's that. PJ says, you are the reason we're all here. Well, thank you, PJ. I appreciate that. I'd like to think that, I had something to do with this, and a little respect, you know what I mean? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. A little respect. Don't kick me out of a group that I started, whatever you do. Thank you very much. Aaron sends $10 and says, thank you, Turtle Boy. What are the odds Proctor pleads the 5th? I don't think I thought a bunch of people would plead the 5th by now, but nobody has. So I don't think he's going to. So thank you, Aaron. He's going to try to lie his way out of it instead. Paula sends $5, says, Aidan, thank you so much for your delicious lunch from Sullivan's today. It was my first time coming to court and meeting all of the wonderful people in this movement. Getting a picture and eating lunch with you made my day. Thanks for all you do. Great meeting you too. I met a bunch of great people today. I met great people all the time whenever I go to Turtle Boy events. And today, I didn't want to brag. It's like we got people like Sullivan's. It's burgers and dogs, and Meredith brought him down there. She's from the area, brings him down, and people loved it. And we had a great time there. But I want to give a shout out to all the people that do this shit. I don't want to mention too many people, because then I feel like I'm forgetting people. You know what I mean? The people you don't mention get left out. But two people that immediately come to mind are Erica Walsh and Paul Cristoforo, right? Who do amazing work, like who help organize a lot of these events, who want absolutely nothing in return, who organize standouts. And Tracy and Dana, they do amazing work too. See what I'm saying? I'm forgetting, like, I'm just gonna, I forgot this person. There's so many of you people, so many. Scott McGinnis comes down every day. He protests so much. They have a cutout of him protesting. That's how much he protests. It's great. It's great. All the regulars, Jason Grant, Allison, all you people, you're amazing. And so it's the least we could do is buy you fucking hot dogs and hamburgers. Christ almighty. So, you know, they want nothing. They want nothing in return. And that is a great thing to see. So thank you very, very much, Paula. Okay. Ashley sends $5. This is according to a comment on Lawyer You Know, the dick doctor, who's the dick doctor, has ties to the McAlberts. Might be worth digging into. He's a dick doctor? Interesting. Thank you very much, Ashley. Mike sends $25, says, given all the witnesses staring at Karen Reed's SUV outside of Fairview, it seems Lally is going to try to claim that she hit him at 12:45, which we know is impossible. Lally painted himself into a corner. If that's their plan to say that she hit him at 12:45, I got bad news for him. There's a voicemail left on John O'Keefe's machine by Karen Reed at 12:41 in which you hear a garage door closing. So she had to be in the garage at Meadows Ave. So she couldn't have killed him at 12:45 because that makes no sense. So thank you very much. Any more turtle chats? No. Do we have any cash apps here? Let's see. Wait. Lisa sends $5, says, I'll donate to the legal fund. Much love. Thank you very much, Lisa. Yeah, I appreciate that because I got a buttload of charges for this and I went to jail. And I got people that want to send me back to jail that I thought were supporters. It's mean. Thank you very much, Lisa. John Doe sends $5, says, the Roccos have done more for free Karen Reed than you ever. They've done more for me ever. Wow. You know, I mean, to each their own. If that's your opinion, I feel like I've done a lot. I feel like I've organized a lot of protests and raised awareness and written a lot of stories and discovered a lot of stuff. I also feel like the money that they've raised came from an audience I built. So it would be hard to raise any money. I would argue that it would be hard to raise money off an audience if it didn't exist. I'm just saying. All right, thank you, John Doe. I had to read it. He gave me $5. And I'll read anything. If people send it. Eric also sends $5 and says, Roccos are great. Do more for Karen Reed than anyone else. Be nice. Okay. I mean, that's your opinion. Again, you're allowed to feel that way. And prior to this, I said nothing but nice things about him. You know what I mean? Ask me. I literally joined. People don't forget during the split from the first Facebook group to the second one, I literally was like, fuck you don't say mean things about the Roccos. Go check the tape. I was like, fuck you. Because the other group was like, oh, the Roccos are being scammy and we don't trust them. And you're spamming the group, raising money and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, we should be raising money for Karen Reed. It's expensive. All these goddamn should be in charge of murder. We need to use this page to raise as much money as possible for them. And these people are good at this, at raising money off of other people, not themselves, but raising money from other people. And I'm like, yeah, let's start. Me and Nick's a good guy. We'll start this group together. And then I go to jail and I got kicked out of the group. And now it's not my group anymore. And I don't know how that happened, but thank you much, Eric. Sheena sends $5, has no comment. Thank you. Okay. Do we have any more turtle chats? Let's read the turtle chats. Oh, got a couple more turtle chats. I didn't refresh it. Isabella sends $10. Jesus Christ. I opened again. I don't want to start anything here, but I'm not the one that made that tweet last night. And I'm not the one that went on Tom CPU's thing today and opened a fucking shit can of worms here. So I got to read the tweet. So this is another message I got right now for $10 from Isabella. It says, I'm so sick of hearing, quote, the Roccos do so much. Newsflash. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to set up a Venmo raffle. People need to remember there would be no one to donate money to without Turtle Boy. After what I've seen today from the Roccos, I'm disgusted. Did they really threaten to send you back to jail? Keep your head up and we see through their grift. I mean, it was kind of like a vague threat, like not like she didn't explicitly say she was going to send me back to jail. It was just, you know, I mean, I'll read the exact quote. They're accusing me of extortion. And they go, she says to me, it must suck to be out on bail, Jenna says. There's such thing as defendant intimidation as well. And I'm like, what? What? So she's going to, it must suck to be out on bail. Yeah, Jenna, to be honest with you, it does suck to be out on bail. Very much so. I fucking hate it. I have 2 kids and a business and a life. And I hate the fact that at any moment, some person who just doesn't like me can just call Brian Tully up and say, oh, Turtle Boy said this, he intimidated another witness, or, you know, he did this or this, and like make up some bullshit crime like the fake victim did and say, oh, he pushed me into a couch. Never happened. And then I go to jail. So yeah, Jenna, to be honest with you, it must suck to be out on bail. It does. It really sucks. I fucking hate it. I don't want to go back to jail. I hate the fact that I'm this close to going back to jail. And I don't like the insinuation here that you're going to send me back to jail when you say there's such thing as defendant intimidation as well. It sounds like you're saying there that you're going to call the police and saying that I'm intimidating who? Karen? I don't know who you're saying. Because I said the other night on my, you know, I think I said the other night on my stream, and a lot of people took this comment the wrong way. I said something to the effect of, what did I say on there? I said something to the effect of, I could throw Karen Reed under the bus in a second and save myself. What I meant by that was I'm loyal. I'm loyal as fuck. Karen Reed hasn't committed any crimes. If I wanted to, I could be like, if I went to Brian Tully and them and I said, you know what? I'm not going to use, you guys win. I'm not going to use my platform anymore to advocate for Karen Reed. I actually think she did it. And I'm going to throw her under the bus and be like, Karen Reed's fucking guilty. They would take me up on that offer because they just want me to shut up. That's what I meant by that comment. I could easily just throw her under the bus and save my fucking self. But I'm not, because I'm not that guy. I'm loyal, period. That's it. So there's that. Okay. And it's just, it's like, it must suck to be on bail. Yes, it does. I have 2 kids, Jenna. You're a mother too. You wouldn't want to be in jail away from your fucking kids. That's horrible. Why would you threaten me with that? That's a horrible thing to say to someone. Jesus Christ, over a Facebook group? Because you really want to be an admin that bad? You can fucking have it. You can have it. I don't want to go to jail. Please don't send me to jail, Jenna. All right. So thank you for that. Next one. Megan sends $5 and says, when I was a teenager walking on the sidewalk, the side mirror of the car going at least 24 miles an hour hit me. The car had so much damage. The entire mirror shattered. I had no glass in me. I don't have a scratch or a broken bone. Wait, when I was a teenager walking on the sidewalk, the side of a mirror going 25 miles an hour hit me. The car had so much damage. Oh, I see what you're saying. So basically, in this case, it didn't have a lot. I see. Okay. So thank you very much, Megan, for that. Sorry to hear about that. Juliana sends $10 and says, thank you for your persistent dedication to this case. My pleasure, Juliana. And then number 5, $5 from Justin. Again, I got it. People send the donos. I read them. Why did Nick Rocco say he gave up his seat today? Yeah, he did say that. He said he gave up his seat in court today. I don't know who he gave it up to. I expected to see a loyal supporter like Tom or Dennis in court, but it was Karen's family. They deserve to be there, but it doesn't sound like Nick gave up a seat. Why lie? Well, Nick was in court today, so I don't even know what you're talking about. Nick was in court today with Jenna in ripped jeans. So there's that. Okay, cool. Do we have any more turtle chats? Let me just refresh that. I think I got one more Cash App here to read from Nicole Shayna sends $5 and says, shout out. Yeah, we love you, Karen. Keep going. All right. Thank you, Shayna. Lisa says $10 and says, thank you and Meredith for lunch. I hope it was delicious. I had 2 hot dogs myself. It was wicked good. Thank you very much, Lisa. My pleasure. Michael sends $5 and says, purple monkey dishwasher. Okay. Thank you very much for that. All right. Do we have any more comments or anything before we wrap this up? Okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the Rockers anymore. I've said my piece. I just don't want to go to jail. You understand that? Like, that's my number one concern here. Is like, why would you want to send me to jail? It's not nice. Fuck. I feel like I've been pretty loyal to everybody. Like, it's like to them, to Karen Reed. I feel like I don't shit on these people. Like, I'm reading group chat comments, and these people who were like nice to my face and sent me nice messages when I was in jail are telling me I'm a drug addict and like telling me I chase trashy pussy. Again, I don't want to make any of these people, I don't want to put this shit out there, but they're not, I'm calling her on the phone. She's not answering the phone to talk. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? How much am I supposed to take? Gee whiz. All right. Anybody. I hope not. I don't want to go to jail. I don't, but the whole teaming up with Krusty Panties and the fake victim and stuff like that was just, blew me I don't like that. That scares me a little bit, because they're capable. I mean, obviously we've seen what they can do. They can make up a lie and send me to jail. No problem. 𝗵𝗵𝗃 is in fact a living legend. I love 𝗵𝗵𝗃. He's so positive. Love people like that in the movement. And again, I made Ma Edwards, longtime Turtle Rider, runs a bunch of my pages. I trust her more than anyone. Has come to a bunch of Karen Reed events. I made her a mod in the group today, and she got kicked out. Like, what the fuck's going on here? I can't have my own people in there who I trust, who don't say that I'm on drugs. Like, run it. Like, what the fuck? How did Karen react to the kids? Same as she did for everything. Well, no, not for Jen McCabe. She didn't grill them. She just, she sits there, kind of just takes it all in. She doesn't make many faces at all in court, or anything like that. I'm sure it was hard today to hear from those kids. I'm sure that was very hard for her. Especially the girl. The girl just was kind of like mean. And like, it's not her fault. But after reading those messages that the girl sent and then seeing how she acted today, that's got to be tough. Okay. All right. I sound like a squeaky balloon. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's all I wanted. I just thought 𝗵𝗃𝗃 should sit in court. That's all. My bad. I thought he doesn't even want it. Like, he wouldn't even be like advocating for himself. So I advocated for him. Sorry. I know he would like it, but he's not the type to be like, whatever. Okay. Sorry, James. I guess I'll watch my back. Anyone else? Who's Krusty? I don't have enough time for that one, sir. You got some research to do. We'll get into that. That's a whole other can of worms. Again, if somebody said, don't let him take up space in your, I promise it's not taking up much space. Like, I was today was I'm so invested in this case. I don't have time to even think about that shit. They were in court with me. I didn't even look at them, Celtics, we're back in the NBA finals. So I am going to live stream the finals. For those of you not interested, I get it. But this is what I've always done traditionally is I stream myself watching a game. So you don't actually watch the game. You watch me watching the game, and I kind of watch, and then we'll talk about the case while I'm watching the game. It'll be fun. Okay. Being called the defendant. I hurt when these people call her the defendant. It's just like, you fuckers, you know what you're doing, You know what you're doing. Okay. Anyway, I love you guys. And I guess, yeah, Tom rocks. Karen is a professional in the courtroom. I don't have time to read all these comments. Yeah, I wish I could read all these comments. I don't, but I'm just going to call it a night, guys. And we're going to, a couple more turtle chats here real quick to bang through. Mother sends $5, says, is there a way to remove or recall Chris Albert? If there was, they would have done it by now. I'm looking into the bylaws. I was also wondering if you had an opinion on 𝗕𝗏𝗺. See, I'm not a true crime guy, so I don't have an opinion on 𝗕𝗏𝗺. I haven't read up on it at all. Maybe I'll be a true crime guy after this. Maybe this is my new calling. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you who are new here are true crime people. I'm popping my true crime cherry with this one. It happens to be the true crime story of the century in my backyard. But maybe this is my thing. I don't know. Thanks for all you do. I'm sorry you've gone through exposing the truth. Thank you, Mother. I appreciate that. Terry sends $25, says Jeremy Renner as Turtle Boy. I don't mean to brag, but I get that a lot. I get Jeremy Renner as Turtle Boy a lot. So we'll see. Marissa sends $10, says, I think I stirred the pot posting the picture of my child with this Haas long to die shirt, but we're stirring the pot, Marissa. I appreciate that very much. Met a nice kid from Medfield today. He came over, his mother introduced him to me. We took a picture. I think he's like my daughter's age too. And he's wearing a Medfield Fire Department shirt. I'm like, whew, too soon. Got that town triggers me. It's a lovely town, Medfield. Kurt Schilling lived there. But it's, I got arrested and went to jail there. Like I'll forever be traumatized by the lovely town of Medfield. So, anyway, I think that is it. Do we have any? I think I had a Cash App here. Did I have one? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Anyway, I just love you guys all so much. You're all so awesome. And I'm going to call it a night now because it's getting late. But no, there's no turtle. I don't do Discord. I'm not a Discorder. I'm not a gamer. Won't do Discord. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Special Turtle Boy Turtle Boy Witness Intimidation show. So we're going to do that tomorrow night. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.